Happy 6 months, my lovely angel Sky. 6 months of serotonin, good vibes, plus some chaos, and of having a wonderful beautiful bestie inside and out in my life. I love you so much, Sky. Thank you for being just exactly who you are.
Mimi, you're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. Thank you for the resub. You don't have to do that. But thank you. 6 months? 6 months? I think it's been a little bit longer than that though. Right? Aw, you're the sweetest. You're just the sweetest, most beautiful, like, amazing, caring person. One of the most amazing people I've ever met. Ever. We love you, Mimi. I love you. And we love having you here. You're amazing. Cry stream right off the bat, literally. Can't believe you do this to me, Mimi. Thank you. I love you. Hi, Brooklyn. Hi, Bob. Mimi, thank you for the first. Thank you for the first. Mimi never misses a danganronpa first. I don't think she has. But hi, how are you all today? I took a shower, so my head's feeling a little better. I don't want to go to work tomorrow, or the day after that, or the day after that. But I'm gonna have to. Yeah, but true. Hi. Is that a hype train emote? Nope. It's cute. That's my doggo. He's cute. That good Steam helps. It does. It does. And I have like a peppermint body wash that I don't use all the time, only when I'm like having a rough day. So that helps too. My brain clearly still is not working, so I don't know how I'm gonna read to you guys, but it's okay. Is it illegal to just call in the rest of your... Yeah. Is it? Is it? I gotta know. I mean, they already let me, like, I signed paperwork that said I had to give 2 weeks. And they already were like, okay, 1 week. If it's really affecting you that badly, then that's okay. We can accommodate. I'm like, okay. Okay. Thanks for understanding. Every day here is agony. Peppermint smells so good. Dude, I literally don't even like wear perfume. Because I just smell like peppermint all the time. Trying to like help my headaches. That's literally my scent is peppermint. That's all I ever smell like. The pupper exudes my energy. I like him. I like him. 2 weeks? Yeah. Yeah. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Every day it literally feels like death, so 1 week. Yeah. Literally. Literally. Every day here makes the desire, sweet embrace of death more and more. It does. It truly does. That place is not for me. And you know what? I know I've shit on it a little bit, but it's just honestly not for me. Like I don't have anything against the company or the job itself. It's just not for me, you know? I just can't handle it. No bueno. I haven't heard from the other place yet, even though I talked to the guy on Thursday and he was like, yeah, you got the job. I'm just waiting to hear from HR. So I'm like, okay, but it's Tuesday. Please call me. Please call me. I don't need there to be like unnecessary days where I'm not working. So please hurry up. It's just the people and also the job. It's mainly just the, I don't know, like the little things. Like it's always so noisy, right? Like it's kind of a lonely position to be in that job. Because I went and worked in linens once and they were super chatty and like having a good time. And I had a good time there, but the strain it put on my back, I was like, how are y'all doing this at like 60? I could barely do it at 29. How do you come in here every day and do this for 8 fucking hours? How? Tell me. Because I don't understand. It seems like it's fucking filled with witches in there. Good God. Please call me. Yeah, literally. And also everything. I don't want to harp on the job. The company seems wonderful. But just not for me. Job please now. Woo woo. Please? Maybe their muscles are so contorted into doing that exact job now they can't do anything else. Oh. Oh boy. That would really suck, dude. That would really suck. I feel like every job there is so, like, whatever. I'm just not made for that kind of production. I'm really not. I like to sit down. Maybe they just aren't real people on this plane of existence? I hadn't thought about that, Bob. That's a good point to bring up, though. I'm gonna have to stew on that one just for a little bit, okay? I'll let you know my thoughts. They're lizard people. They're the lizard aliens or whatever. Maybe they're robots. Oh. I mean, If robots could do it, that would be nice. Give it another like 20 years. And then every human in the world, the only job will be keeping watch over machines to do the job. That's it. It explains all the weirdos. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think that's a little bit rude to robots, though. We do not disrespect Nekomaru in this house like that, okay? Yeah, until the machines learn how to fix the machines. Yeah, and then we'll all be able to, like, live peacefully and never do anything. And the Terminator. Yep, you're right, Mimi. You're right. Disrespectful. Disrespectful. I don't know if I said this on stream yet, but I finished my chair after... Yeah, no, I haven't streamed since Saturday. I finished my chair Saturday night. My brother helped me. So I've been sitting in it since then. And I was saying to Bob how, like, oh god, like my lower back like hurts so bad. And he was like, why? I thought it was supposed to help with that. And I was like, yeah, but because I'm so used to slouching, sitting up straight is more painful. Because that happened when I was younger. I had a back brace for a while, but it really pissed me off because it was so uncomfortable standing up straight. So I'm like, no, this is good progress for 2 days. This is good progress. It means that my muscles are changing and stretching out and being in a better place. And it's really good. It's really good. If they just kill us off because we're no longer useful, Earth will become a planet of robots only. I finished this. I said my brother helped me. Ergonomical chair. Yeah. We're all about ergo. Yeah, we should be. What I'm hearing is slouch is king. No, it's bad for your back, Bob. You shouldn't slouch. No shrimping. I have so many different chairs and handrests. Oh my god. The only thing now is that I need a desk that's a little bit taller. I actually might just switch to the table that Cleo's take was on, at least for now, until I find a desk that I like. Because even when the chair's at its lowest, I still, if I want to like lean on the desk, I like lean too much. Like the desk needs to be higher, is what I'm saying. I'm trying to say it at least. Thank you for the hydrate movie. Horizon Zero Dawn who? Literally, we will become Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, I love that and the dinosaurs. Like, how many movies have been made that like show you how absolutely horrible it would be if robots controlled everything or if dinosaurs were alive? Yet people keep saying in real life, they're like, oh, we're working on it. You shouldn't work on it. You shouldn't work on it. There's literally 5 movies as to why you should not resurrect dinosaurs. There's literally X amount of like hundreds of movies and games and shit as to why we should not have robots doing everything. Because we're gonna lose control and some shit's gonna go down. It's not good. It's not good. It's fine, I guess. Yeah, how many VR dystopias? Yeah, literally, so many. Yeah, I'm just like, dude. I remember that happened when I saw The Mist as well. If you don't want spoilers for The Mist, just mute me for like 10 seconds. But at the end I was like, oh, of course, it's the scientists were trying to rip a hole in the time and space continuum, and all these monsters came out of it. Of course it was the scientists. It's always the scientists. It's always the scientists. My god. Zuckerbot wants us all to live in the Matrix? No. I've never seen that movie. Yeah, no spoilers for a mediocre movie from 15 years ago. You know what? I gotta be safe, Bob. There might be someone lurking that's like, dude, I was gonna watch that tomorrow. You never know. I can't. But it's literally always a scientist. Dude, I'm so sorry, Mimi. I'm so sorry. You should have muted me when I told you. I told you to mute it. The rest is still unspoiled, true. You don't know what the monster is or what happens. Just know, it's always the scientist. Fucking shit up. Imagine. I would probably die laughing. Shush. But how are you guys? How was your Tuesday? How's your week so far? How's it going? Scientists really do be going too far for the sake of research. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, but what happens when something horrible comes out of your research, huh? Crazy monsters and shit. Not good. Did we learn nothing from Frankenstein? From like how many years ago was that? Hump day! Oh yeah, you're ahead of us a little bit, aren't you, Brooklyn? Trying to pump myself up for my shift tonight. Let's go. You're gonna have an awesome shift. It's gonna be great. It's gonna go real fast. The Beagle experiment we recently found out about? What is that, Bob? Do I want to know what that is? What you're talking about? The article about them saying they could recreate dinosaurs, and everyone was like, we have an entire movie series on why that is, in fact, not a good idea. Yeah, exactly. There's like 5 whole movies. Please don't recreate dinosaurs. Please don't. Oh my gosh. You're in the office now. Heading to my meeting in 3 minutes. That's lame. I hope your meeting goes well though. Probably not as pretty morbid. Okay, tell me in Discord. Because now I'm curious. I also got reminded today that the fucking Ben Drown thing exists. I was in Ginger's stream, she's playing Zelda. And yeah, I got reminded that the Ben creepypasta existed, and I was like, dude, I was obsessed with that because it was just really cool. That's like part of my whole, like, I like going deep diving into the internet on like lore videos for games that I play. That's like the same kind of section of my brain. I'll be back in either 10 minutes or 8 hours. Rip. It just sort of depends if I need to go underground or not. Oh, true. Brooklyn and Mimi, SBCE. There it is. It's a pretty big difference. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's like some creepypasta about how this guy got like an old copy of Majora's Mask and it was like possessed by a ghost or some shit and all this freaky shit was happening. It's all fake, but you're like, oh my god, that's really exciting. It's like watching a movie. What was it? Oh my god, what were we talking about? I was like, they could make a horror movie out of this now, and it would be great. I don't remember. Fuck. Is it fake though? Exactly. It is pretty cursed. Yep. Doesn't really need a creepypasta to make it cursed. Was it literally Majora's Mask that we were talking about? Yeah, it was. I was like, if they remade Majora's Mask as a horror game, how terrifying would that be? Just look at the moon, literally. Bedtime for Kater, but wanted to say hi. I love you, Kater. I hope you had an amazing day and have a good sleep and have a good day tomorrow. I love you. It would be great. Yeah, it would be pretty crazy. Like all the like whatever, those creepy statues, the moon, the mirror shield. They could make that all look so creepy, dude. So creepy. The bosses. Oh. I wish they would try and make another Zelda show or movie. That'd be so good. Yeah, or just give us a remake. Good night, Kate. Good night. No, they have it now on the Switch membership thing or whatever. Something in my eye. Something in my eye. What else is new? Okay, I think I got it. A new Zelda anime would be dope. Yeah, right? It'd be so good. It'd be so good. Okay. Sorry, my eyes really hurt. I should wear my glasses. Where are they? Okay, there. Oh, shit. I'm okay. Okay. Yeah, an anime or a movie would be cool. I think if they were to make an anime of any game, I would like it to be Ocarina of Time. What kind of animation style? Just regular anime would be nice. Wasn't there like an anime clip of Link somewhere? Was that from Smash? Oh, I don't think so. Yeah, with like all the different dungeons and the story and the Deku tree and everything. Ganon. It'd be really cool. No, not that one. It's a different one. I don't think it was in a game. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I know what you're talking about though, Bob. Yeah. Here it is. One sec. I think it is from Smash. One sec. Here you go. Yeah, it is from Smash. Like this would be really cool. There was an old Zelda anime. Yeah, it was this one. That's where well, excuse me, princess came from. This anime. You might be thinking of the... This is from Link to the Past. What was I gonna say? Aww, Linky in Ghibli mode. Whoa, that's spicy. That is spicy. I love that they continued that sarcastic attitude in the Breath of the Wild dialogue. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like saying like no. My favorite one is like right at the beginning when you talk to the old man. If you if you don't put those clothes on that you get, he's like, isn't it a little cold to not be wearing anything? And you can be like, what? Or like, no. And I remember just like, no. Don't tell me how to dress or not dress. Mind your business. You just like let your imagination run like that. I love it. Oh, see, something like this would be so cute. Babies. Oh, I love these two pictures. They're so cute. I love it. I love it for that game, yeah. Mind business. Mind your business. It's not about you, okay? It's not about you right now. Perfect story for an anime, literally. Literally. I said something else. Oh, because Jin, she's playing Breath of the Wild, but she just beat Ganon in Master Mode, God Gamer. I was like, at the end, it has like, it comes up with the quest that says destroy Ganon, and it's like complete. And I was like, did you actually destroy Ganon though? Wait for another 4 fucking years to find out. Breath of the Wild 2. Because it feels like that game is never gonna come out. Ever. Please, Nintendo. Please. I was literally watching her play. I kind of want to play again, so I might play on my other Switch. Maybe when they make a new Switch. That's what we were kind of talking about. I was saying maybe they'll do like they did with the first game and have it like release on Switch and the new console, because the first one was like for the Wii U and the Switch. So that would be nice if they did that. So everybody wouldn't have to buy a whole new fucking console. But jeez. Jeez. Still need to beat that for myself. Breath of the Wild? Oh my god. I haven't beaten it yet. It's good. Someone in Ginger's chat was like, oh, I heard there's 1800 Koroks in Breath of the Wild 2. I was like, absolutely not. Don't even speak those words. Don't even give them a thought about that, because it's not happening. It's not happening. Oh my god. Should I put in my platinum trophies panel that I've collected 900 Koroks 2 times? That's a fucking platinum in itself. I should. I was thinking of adding... I was thinking of also adding like Little Nightmares, because it doesn't technically have a platinum trophy, but I like worked at getting all the trophies, you know? You know? I already put Danganronpa 2 in there. Hell yeah. Fucking finally. This guy's gonna have to do it twice. Yeah, so please make it a bit easier. Please, I'm begging you. It basically does, so why not? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm not sure... God, when... I might be able to narrow down the date that I beat... that I got 100% the first time on Breath of the Wild, but it would be tricky. It would be really tricky. Yeah, I don't know how I'd go about doing that. The date doesn't matter, but I like it. I like it. But it would definitely be... Let me see. Would it be at the top of the list? Yeah, it would be. Oh yeah, Wii U version and Switch version. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea, Bob. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay, do we wanna read? This? No. Okay. I'm literally so shook by this story. I need the anime version of it right now. Yeah, literally, Mimi. I'm also dying. Is there any sound in here? No. Okay, so we'll leave the Lo-fi on, but turn it down. Story time! I don't want to spoil anything, but I knew you guys would enjoy hearing the rest of this. Because I kind of skimmed through it to get the picture at the end, and I was like, oh, I love it! So I think you guys will too. We were literally just talking about you! Hi, friends! Welcome in, welcome in! I'm waving, but you can't see me. Hi, how was the rest of Zelda? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm gonna play my review real quick and then I'll be right back. Let's go. Tokyo Drift. Gundam's undergarments. Holy shit, we went to second base real quick. We just held hands and he gave me this underwear. I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm not gonna fuck it up. I fucked it up. Why are you up here? Bro. I'm rage quitting Animal Crossing. I'm not playing this game anymore. I don't know if I should keep crying or laughing. No! No! I love you. I love you. Oh, we're having a manly bath together. Hell yeah. You bathe in this? How have you not perished? I'm having a crisis. I'm having a Gundam crisis. Are you super done with my bullshit? Is that what that was for? There you have it. There you have it. Welcome in. Yeah, we were just talking about like all the Zelda stuff that we were talking about in your stream. Talking about Breath of the Wild 2 and stuff. I need you to make me a raid video because I love you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I like it too. I like it too. If I can make you one if you want. Just send me the clips. Thank you though. Thank you for that compliment. I really appreciate that. How was the rest of stream? You got the final memory? I hope you got the final memory. And enjoyed it. Enjoyed the memory. Yeah, and then you get like an extra little scene at the end of the game after you beat Ganon. That's really sweet. Even if it induces crycore, I try not to think about it every time. I honestly might replace that clip. It's hard. It's definitely hard. Finish out the memories and called it a night. Awesome. That's good. I hope you like that. But it's probably late for you. It's probably late for you, so if you need to go eat, drink, sleep, please go ahead and do that. Take care of yourself first. And Raiders as well. If you need to go, please do. We are finishing this little novel thing from Danganronpa. So technically it's Danganronpa 2, but the novel is based in Danganronpa 1. So yeah, we're just reading. It's story time, bedtime. It's okay. Thank you for asking. The shower helped. The shower helped a lot. It's feeling better. That's why I was like, oh, I'll get on and finish the story. Yeah, the shower helps a lot. I'm glad. But now I have to go to work tomorrow. Ugh. Now that I'm not in agonizing pain, I have to go to work tomorrow. What do I prefer? Let's be honest here. Me too, me too. Says Bob. Difficult choice, difficult choice. Migraine or work? I think work is worse. Because I can just sleep the day away. Guys, get ready for bed, of course. Keep you on lurk until I actually sleep. Thank you, Ginge. Thank you, thank you. It was so fun hanging out in your stream today. I'm glad I stopped in. I got to chill with you guys. It was really nice. Have a good rest of your night and a good sleep. Keep being awesome. You keep being awesome. Good night. Agreed. Time to stay home. Yep. One more week. I know, Punch. I'm hanging in. I'm hanging in. It's agony, but I'm hanging in. I felt bad for staying home today, but I just like, oh my god. I'm like, it doesn't, going to work just makes it worse because it's so noisy, right? I'm like, oh my god. Can't handle this, dude. Ugh. Okay, I went back about like 8 pages so we can reflect on what happened. So the story so far is that we were basically in the section of the first game right before Junko was killed. But instead, Makoto got the escape button item from the little mono machine, and it like electrocuted him. So he has been starting to remember things that this like memory wipe has taken away from him. So right before Junko, air quotes, got hit with the spears, he pushed her out of the way and was like, Muguro! And so he started like remembering shit, right? So Makoto got a little stabby in the side, just a minor one. A bunch of crazy shit happened between Sakura and Mukuro, and then Sakura and Genocide Joe. Genocide Joe came back because Mukuro woke her up, and then Mukuro basically grabbed Makoto and ran to the nurse's office to tend to him, and then Mukuro and Monokuma, air quotes, had a little bit of a conversation, and then Mukuro got super pissed off and destroyed the surveillance camera and the Monokuma doll. So that's basically where we're at right now. Yeah, almost out of there. Caroline can handle it, or not. I don't think she was even, because the last time I think my boss was like, oh, I'm not allowing her to come in because she doesn't feel good. So I don't know what they did today, but the way they described the stab made it sound so much worse than it was. Yeah, it made it sound like he was like stabbed completely through the whole gut. Like, what the heck? I totally feel that too, Bob. It sounded so much worse. So much worse. How's the music? Is it too quiet? Is it too loud? Is it good for like background noise? Get over yourself, slut. We're dead. We're dead. It's perfect. Great. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. The iron bar was still stabbed into the surveillance camera as Monokuma dangled from the other end. He opened his mouth as if to say something, but only static came out. A few seconds later, his functions came to a complete stop. Without making a sound at all, Mukuro had kicked Monokuma into the air as soon as Monokuma's power source and his bomb circuit were perfectly aligned with the surveillance camera in the nurse's office. Mukuro plunged the iron bar into all three of them. No normal human has the skill to utilize such a technique. Not even an ultimate. She is an ultimate. She is an ultimate, though. All the hesitation within Mukuro had vanished. Her eyes sparkled like a panther stalking its prey at night. A tense aura surrounded Mukuro, even more so than when she fought Sakura earlier. Got it. Ignoring Monokuma's lifeless form, she looked at Makoto as he breathed softly and remembered her sister's parting words. Mukuro being an absolute baddie. Yep. Oh, who's the boss? Mukuro right now. So this is despair, she mumbled to herself. I'm so sorry, Junko. I never really understood what despair was. She spoke without emotion, like a machine. But it's going to be all right now. I finally understand. Hidden within her, passions began to stir. So, I'll make sure I make you happy, Junko. I'll make sure I fill you with despair. I'll save Makoto. I'll make sure the others don't die. I'll let them escape from this place. I'll deal with the people on the outside too. You've invested so much time and killed so many people for the sake of this plan, and I'll destroy every last remnant of it. For you. For you. I'll take you for the hydrate, the gamma check, and the high. I'm the ooh woo. Welcome in. This chair is already so nice. Oh my god. For me? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This was not an act of vengeance toward the sister who had abandoned her. This was an act of mercy. Mukuro, I'm so flustered. Stuck between the ultimate despair and the hope she gained from Makoto, Mukuro was being refined into something that was unlike despair or hope, and she had no way of knowing where her path would lead. Over 10 minutes had passed. The sound of the students leaving the gym and making their way to the nurse's office rang throughout the hall. Genocide Jack had continued to dodge Sakura's attacks with her tricky movements, but when Byakuya blurted out, "Enough already, you irritating pervert!" I mean, somebody had to say it. Almost sounds similar to Hajime. Oof. Oof. Oh, my. Getting chewed out by a bespectacled Byakuya is making my masochistic side all tingly. They say the line between sadism and masochism is paper thin, but in my case it's more like a Venn diagram. Words can't explain these hot waves of passion squirming from the top of my head to the tips of my toes. She sure talks a lot. As she rambled incoherently about Byakuya, the other students tied her up with a microphone cable from the gym and locked her in her room. I can't. They just locked her in her room? Oh my god. This just reminds me of when she in Despair Girls, when she's like blah 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 blah, shut the hell up. That's kind of what I'm picturing now. God. Oh, long hair Hajime. Yeah. Oh yeah. You need this image? Me too, dude. Just locked her in her room. I can't. Half the students stayed behind to keep an eye on her, while the rest left to search the grounds of the school. Mamma mia. She's probably even hoarding her now, literally. Way to go, Byakuya. You ruined it. As soon as the door to the nurse's office opened, Kyoko saw a non-functioning Makoto. Nope. She saw a non-functioning Monokuma with a hole in its chest and the remains of a surveillance camera. It wasn't just in the nurse's office, though. On their way there, the students had seen several destroyed surveillance cameras and scattered Monokuma bodies. Oh, Mukuro has been putting in work. She's been putting in work. This was a clear violation of school regulations, but if Mukuro was allied with Monokuma, those regulations wouldn't apply to her anyway. The Monokuma inside the gym was no longer moving, and the students had lost contact with the hacker, Bishiki Madurai. Did he, though? Get it, girl! Yeah, Mukuro's on a rampage, dude. I can't believe somebody else redeemed first. Really? You can't believe it? That's how I kind of feel when I go into a stream, like, an hour late. I'm like, I can't believe somebody's already redeemed first. Yeah, me too. Bummer. Oh my gosh. Milk spice. You would never do me like this, so I assume it's Bob. You never know. You'd have to watch the VOD. See who got first. Oh, so the students assumed that Madurai... Is it Madurai? Yeah. They keep on to say Midori, because that's the dude from the anime. But it's not. They're different, right? Or is... hold on. I am confused. Like, is it related to Midori, or is it like something completely different? Oh, it's that curse thing. Yeah, so this character is from... They mentioned this at the beginning. He's from, the manga Danganronpa 0? Yeah. Okay, now I'm curious. Oh yeah, Mimi, didn't you say that the 0 one only, there's no translation? Doesn't matter. Adding them to the wish list, because why the fuck not? Okay, sorry, I got a little distracted. I just needed to make sure I wasn't thinking of someone else. Fades away. Yeah, that curse thing with the weird tongue. I mean, a lot of characters have weird tongues in this, but this one's extra weird. No, I just meant the my Amazon wishlist. I don't have a command for that yet because I'm not mentally prepared for my community's kindness. I need to mentally prepare for my community's kindness. Fair. Thank you. I thought so. Okay. So the students assumed that Madurai had taken control of a different Monokuma and went after Mukuro on his own. With that in mind, Kyoko turned and looked inside the nurse's office once again. It was unusually quiet. The beds were empty, but Kyoko could see the bloodstains from that someone had been resting there recently. Looks like they're already gone, Mondo remarked. But as he was about to leave, Kyoko spoke up behind him. I'm going to stay here with Chihiro and search for clues. Huh? Asked Chihiro, her timid eyes widening. Clues? Kyoko continued to speak in a calm tone of voice. Yes, there may be some clues in these Monokuma remains. I figured you would be the best candidate for investigating machinery. Sakura spoke up, but isn't that dangerous? Since Sakura could clearly hold her own in a fight with Mukuro, she had joined the other students in searching the school grounds. Kyoko shook her head and replied, I'm sorry to say this, but if things get out of hand, Chihiro and I will just be in your way. I think it's better if we search for clues here instead of doing nothing. Besides, we might be able to use Monokuma's parts to detect any radio broadcasts from the outside world. You certainly have a point. Understood. We'll be exploring this floor for a while. Please shout for us if anything happens. Sakura left the nurse's office. Not the freaking Nope song. Okay. His parts? You better believe it. How did she destroy Monokuma like this? As Chihiro cautiously stood over Monokuma's remains, Kyoko started searching through the room. She zeroed in on one of the beds and began studying it intensely. A moment later, Kyoko was satisfied with what she found and let out a small sigh before she spoke. Chihiro, let me apologize to you in advance. Huh? I dragged you into this gamble of mine, so if anything happens, run out into the hallway and call for help. Well, what do you mean? But instead of answering Chihiro's question, Kyoko started talking to one of the empty beds. Let me say this first. I'm prepared to hear your story. No matter how ridiculous it may sound, I promise not to decide if it's a lie or the truth until after I've listened to it in its entirety. Chihiro looked confused. She didn't understand what Kyoko meant at all. The ultimate... lowered her eyes and turned to the ultimate programmer to make a request. Chihiro, does your laptop have a voice recording function? And do you also have a microphone? Huh? Yeah. I want you to use that to record everything we're about to hear. But there's no one here. As Chihiro wondered to herself, she began connecting Monokuma's parts to her laptop and turned on the record function. I'm sure we'll pick up every sound in this room now, said Chihiro nervously. Satisfied, Kyoko nodded and once again started talking to the empty bed. So what were you going to do if I told everyone that I'd found Makoto? When she heard Kyoko say that, Chihiro looked back at her and was surprised by what she saw. At that moment, the ultimate programmer was kneeling on the floor next to Monokuma's remains. From that position, she was able to see it. Of all the beds in the nurse's office, there was one bed in particular that couldn't be seen from the entrance. Underneath that bed lay a limp Makoto. A blood pack was hidden next to the bed and slowly providing Makoto with a transfusion. Okay. Oh. The contents of the blood pack were clear. Rather than blood, it seemed to be some kind of saline solution used in emergency hydration. Though it would be as effective as an actual blood transfusion, it was enough to keep him from going into shock. Though that was the extent of Chihiro's medical knowledge, she was already surprised that Makoto had been in the nurse's office this whole time. Not only that, but Kyoko wasn't talking to the bed that Makoto was under, which sent chills throughout Chihiro's body. However, there was nobody under the bed that Kyoko was facing, but the moment Chihiro noticed it, a voice rang out from underneath it. As soon as everyone's attention was focused on Makoto, I was planning to take advantage of that opportunity to take someone hostage. As Chihiro cautiously even, lowered her head until it was nearly touching the floor, she was able to make out who was talking. Surprisingly, the person hiding there was clinging to the frame of the bed, like a ninja clinging to the ceiling. Presumably, if someone had glanced under the bed quickly, they wouldn't have noticed anybody was there. Though Chihiro had no idea how the person was able to hide under the bed for so long, she could at least understand that their strength was beyond normal human levels. There was no question that the person hiding under the bed was Mukuro Ikusawa. But you pretended not to notice. Why? Mukuro's voice was as cold as ice, but Kyoko didn't even flinch as she responded. Because I wanted to hear your side of the story. I knew you were hiding under that bed. Compared to the others, the frame was slightly more pronounced. Chihiro tried comparing the beds to see if this was true, but she couldn't tell the difference at all. Only Kyoko's natural observation skills could let her see something like that. Mukuro seemed to come to a similar conclusion and appeared from under the bed without making a sound. Her face was stoic and cold. Compared to the bomb inside Monokuma, Chihiro thought that she was even more terrifying. However, Mukuro ignored Chihiro and shifted her gaze at Kyoko. She leaned against a wall and let her arms fall to her sides as she threw out another question. Why do you want to hear what I have to say? Kyoko thought about this simple question for a while, as if she were searching within her own heart for the answer. If I have to provide an answer, it's because I wish to remain neutral. Kyoko quietly looked down. I'm currently missing most of my memories. I don't know who I am or what talent I had to be accepted into the school. She could hear Chihiro gasp behind her, but Kyoko didn't mind and continued. So remember, this is like... only one person has died at this point of the story. Right? Or is it after? Wait, I confused myself. Yeah, it's Sayaka first. And then Junko. Yeah. Right? I think so. Why am I so confused? In chronological order. Yeah, it was Sayaka, and then Mukuro, and then Leon. Yeah. Okay, I got it. I got it. But even so, I believe I should listen to what you have to say. Regardless of whether you're good or evil, I must hear all the facts in order to know the truth. Good and evil don't matter. I'll come to a conclusion based on what I see and hear. I think that's methodology that's been instilled into me. I see. I completely forgot you were like that, Kyoko. But before I listen to what you have to say, I'd like to ask you one question first. What is it? Mukuro's reply was completely emotionless. Kyoko presented her question as if she were asking it of herself as well. What was my talent that allowed me to attend this academy? The answer to that question was simple. Kyoko, you're the ultimate detective. That answer marked a turning point for both girls. Thank you. I have a better understanding of the situation now. Kyoko slowly raised her head and presented a theory. If my memory loss wasn't just a coincidence, then your group, has the ability to erase people's memories. With that in mind, if we take into consideration the situation that unfolded in the gym earlier, I can only come to one possibility. Possibility? Yes, what you said to Byakuya when he thought you were taking Toko hostage. You claimed that they met 2 years ago. It's possible that might be actually true. The fact that Makoto called out Mukuro's name, the things that Mukuro confirmed and denied, Genocide Jack's outlandish claims, these key factors that Kyoko noted using her special observation skills were converging, in her mind to form one answer. It's possible that Byakuya and Toko's memories were also erased, like mine, but I don't think their circumstances are quite the same as mine. But if our memories can be controlled so freely, it calls into question whether the day Monokuma appeared was really the same day we entered the academy. Like you said, it's possible that we've known Toko Fukawa for the last 2 years. What do you mean? Chihiro cried, still working on connecting her laptop to Monokuma's parts. Kyoko continued, speaking to both Chihiro and Mukuro. We thought we were knocked unconscious with sleeping gas the moment we arrived at this school, but it's possible that we were simply made to think that's what happened. For example, we may have already spent the last 2 years at Host Peak Academy, and our memories of that time were completely erased. It's even possible that we aren't even ultimates at all, just random people who have been implanted with 16 years worth of false memories. What the heck? What the heck? What kind of machine is she making? I think she's just recording them talking. Though Kyoko's claim sounded ridiculous, her face was completely serious. She looked up at Mukuro once again, which means I'm considering the possibility that your crazy story is actually true. Kyoko's declaration filled the room with silence, but she didn't let the silence overwhelm her. Kyoko cut through it with her own words. Without evidence, all I can do is make hypotheses. That's why I want to hear what you have to say, Mukuro. I have no intention of blindly believing what you're going to say, or what that self-proclaimed hacker who took over Monokuma said. She paused and lowered her eyes again, then declared with powerful determination, Even so, I intend to come to a conclusion as fairly and objectively as I can, but I can only do that if you trust me and tell me the truth. Kyoko's conviction was clear in her voice. Mukuro's eyes narrowed slightly, and a tapestry of emotions flashed across her face as she looked toward Kyoko. But when she opened her mouth, her expression and voice were completely devoid of emotion. That's right, I completely forgot you were like that. Oh. Connecting your computer to his part sounds kind of sus. Yeah, I'm not sure why she's connecting it to Monokuma. I don't get it. Is she using it as a microphone or something? Mukuro repeated to herself softly and then faced Kyoko and declared, "That must be why Junko took care to erase more of your memories compared to the others." "Very well, I'll tell you everything." And after Mukuro placed Makoto back onto the bed, she began to mechanically tell a story. No sorries, Mimi. Enjoy your food. The story of a girl who wanted to fill the world with despair. A girl who only felt truly happy when she was filled with despair herself. A plan for despair that began 2 years ago, or perhaps even earlier than that. How the world was currently ruled by despair itself. Mukuro provided a brief summary of everything she knew about the plan. That's why it sounded even more outrageous than Kyoko had expected. And through her story, Kyoko was able to learn the truth about herself. Who she is and why she came to the academy, the fate of the academy's real headmaster, Kyoko's father. As she listened to Mukuro's story, Kyoko remained silent the whole time. Her face went blank when she learned her father had died. Perhaps her memory loss and the absurdity of the situation helped lessen the impact somewhat. I'm not good at reading and breathing. Oh, disarm the bomb? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that would make sense. Same. Okay, I'm not alone. But there was no guarantee Kyoko would even believe her story. After Mukuro finished speaking, Kyoko stayed silent. With her unrivaled mental prowess, she was able to listen to Mukuro's story without interrupting her or dismissing it as nonsense. Mukuro continued, "You don't have to believe me. After all, any pictures that could prove my story are with Junko. All I can do is talk." After she said that, Mukuro silently walked toward the entrance to the nurse's office. When she arrived at the door, she spoke again without looking back. "But even if you don't believe me, you still listened to everything I had to say, so Kyoko, Chihiro, thank you." After apologizing in such a strange tone of voice, she turned to the bed where Makoto lay, breathing weakly. "Make sure Makoto stays rested. When he wakes up, make sure you give him some sports drinks from the dining hall or supply room to drink. Please." Breathing is a lot of work. It really is. "Of course, but what are you going to do now?" asked Kyoko. Mukuro straightened herself up. Despair. I need to make Junko feel despair." Mukuro continued mumbling to herself as she opened the door. "There's nothing else I can do." "No, there is something you can do." Mukuro stopped walking as Kyoko spoke firmly. "Regardless of whether Monokuma is really Junko Enoshima or Bishiki Madurai, if you're dealing with him, he won't be able to lay a finger on Makoto. I don't fully trust you, but if you're really concerned for Makoto's life, I'm willing to work with you. Unlike Bishiki, who's probably abandoned him already, right?" "I'm sorry. I don't really work well with others." Mukuro looked away, then bowed her head as she left the nurse's office. "But, I'll do my best." The doors closed, and Mukuro was gone. "I'm sorry for involving you in something so dangerous, Chihiro." As she continued to organize the vast amount of information that Mukuro gave her, Kyoko turned to Chihiro, who was still working on Monokuma. As she trembled with fear, Chihiro slowly looked back at Kyoko. Kyoko? About what Mukuro said just now?" Chihiro's face turned pale as she struggled with her words, and Kyoko tried to calm her down. "We can't determine if anything she told us was true or not. There's no need to be afraid." But Chihiro shook her head and returned to looking at her laptop. I think she's telling the truth." "What are you basing that on?" Well, it looks like Monokuma is really being controlled from the outside." "Really?" "Huh. Chihiro, I know." Part of Monokuma's system has been connected to Chihiro's laptop, and she was analyzing the data within its control system, and it was then that the ultimate programmer noticed something unusual about it. This control program, I thought it would be another year before the system became fully operational. Chihiro started trembling so much that she was unable to continue speaking. "We can't confirm that," said Kyoko, proposing another possibility to avoid jumping to conclusions. "It's possible that a similar program was being developed in secret." But Chihiro adamantly shook her head and said, "No, that's not it. It just looks really familiar to me." Kyoko looked over Chihiro's trembling shoulders to peer at the screen, and that's when she noticed this program. "Chihiro, did you create this?" All the ultimate programmer could do was nod weakly. "What?" "What?" Now I'm shaking. Now I'm shaking. What? Chihiro's AI is what's in Monokuma? Oh Lord. Oh Lord have mercy. First floor, main hall. How would we know if the literal story that was Chihiro's program or not? What do you mean, Mimi? Yeah, she's the only one smart enough to make something like that. Yeah, I guess so. Well, didn't Chihiro work for like a company? Maybe it was them as well? Oh, in the actual version of Danganronpa 1, if the Monokuma program was created by Chiro. It's probably not. I think this is just like a very big if scenario. I know Toho Group made the Monokumas, but I don't know about the AI. She did, but I thought her AI program she worked on independently of her own. Yeah, she did. She did. I'm just saying, like, the company she was with, maybe they were working, maybe they had some of her information or her data and made something. I don't know. How Junko made herself an AI wasn't really clear in Dangan 2 for me. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Because I think but like, I don't know. She must have done it here at the school. And put herself in there. Maybe because, remember when Makoto brought Alter Ego and connected her to the, internet or whatever? It's possible that Junko got all that AI information from that laptop when it was connected to the server. And she was like, well, I'm making me now and putting it in a Monokuma just in case things go wrong. Sounds like something Junko would do. Maybe 3 things? Yeah, maybe. That's my only, like, guess as to what's happening. Maybe Junko did it the same way that she got the hypnosis stuff from that one kid. Yeah, Midori, yeah. Like in the school, yeah. Yeah, exactly. 100%. I think that's what's happening. I know, baby, I know. This is like the most in-depth game I've ever fucking played. Mukuro continued moving forward and was fortunate enough to not encounter Sakura or Mondo. With no interference from anyone, she made her way to a hall as large as the gym. She stood before the sealed main entrance. Suddenly, Monokuma popped out of the shadows to block her path. Oh, Monokuma! Maybe she did it through the power of plot. That too. The way it fills in gaps, the more extra content you consume is crazy. Yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed. Within this hall that resembled a nuclear bomb shelter, replete with all manner of heavy weaponry, Monokuma's silhouette was conspicuously out of place here. His laughter rang throughout the room as he wiggled his body from side to side. What were you doing at the nurse's office? Did you eliminate your rival for Makoto's affections? Or did you help play matchmaker instead? Either way, don't you think it's kind of adorable to put Makoto and Kyoko in this kind of situation together? If this were a suspense film, those two would be the last couple standing. I was literally thinking about the way Kyoko died. The way Kyoko lost the game in the anime 3 today. It's just been like stuck in my head like the past 2 days how that happened, and it's been like fucking torture. It's really been making me crazy. I know, that's like the worst part. Ugh. You're making me crazy. Okay. Let's make it literally. Yeah. And wasn't it that other girl's medicine? But then McCann just figured out like how to use it. I don't remember her name. That one with the braces. Yeah. Amazing. 10 out of 10. But if this is a horror film, they just die anyway. Or if this was a game called Danganronpa, they would just die anyway. Certainly how it feels. The killer was alive all along. Splat goes the blood, plop goes the meat. I'm a huge fan of endings where the characters think they're gonna live, but they really headed to a final destination. Wait, what the hell is a destination? What does that even mean? Despite Monokuma's angry complaints, Mukuro remained unperturbed. She continued to stare icy daggers at Monokuma, as if she was waiting for him to finish speaking. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Well, anyway, I'm just so sad right now. A regulation-breaking delinquent is disturbing the harmony of this peaceful academy. Sure. We know you do. I can't even keep one of my students from running wild. Time to say goodbye to your incompetent headmaster. I'm gonna use Monokuma Evolution just to become a big Magnum headmaster and mold you into a decent student. As soon as he said that, Monokuma extended his claws and waddled towards Mukuro. So, if I'm gonna mold you, then I gotta kill you first. Oh, is that it? Especially when you blame Kiri, literally. He's digivolving, yeah, unfortunately. Where was I? Right as he finished speaking, Monokuma suddenly charged at Mukuro like a spiked volleyball. But Mukuro was faster and dodged Monokuma's attack. She jumped back, keeping her distance from Monokuma just in case his claws could extend even longer. Just then, a shadowy figure appeared next to her. Sorry, I had a yawn. Mukuro twisted her body to its limits and just narrowly avoided the figure's attack. When she landed on the floor, she immediately saw, boo! So, what does the immortal killer want anyway? Are you gonna tell the others the truth and escape with them, even though you know what the outside world is like right now? Two Monokumas were speaking to Mukuro in unison, not the two of them. Honestly, I don't mind if you do that. I can just imagine the look on everyone's face when they discover the truth. It fills me with such heart-throbbing excitement. The two Monokumas continued to speak in stereo sound. The best kind, obviously. Yeah, it's bad enough we have 5. They just keep multiplying, dude. You said you'd destroy my plans, but there's no happy ending waiting for you, no matter which route you take. And you only have yourself to blame for that. Oh, that's why there's 2 quotation marks around them talking, because there's 2 of them. You don't have to do it like that, though. You just saying that they're speaking in unison is enough. You don't have to double up on the on the quotation marks. Like, we didn't kill 5,000 of them in Ultra Spray. I was literally just thinking the same thing, Bob. Literally just thinking the same thing. Don't tell me you thought they'd be grateful to you. Even if you guys escape here, do you think they'll still forgive you when they get a whiff of that nasty air outside? Some of them might prefer to stay in the school, and some of them might resent you for being kind and showing them the truth. But then again, this is all your fault anyway, so it doesn't really matter what they think of you. Monokuma made a little mistake. Despite facing down 2 Monokumas, Mukuro's expression didn't waver. She understood that controlling 2 Monokumas simultaneously was a piece of cake for Junko. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. Is BCE, yep. Mukuro drew an arm-length metal bar from seemingly nowhere. Was it up her ass? Like, what's happening here? An arm-length metal bar? Where was that? Mukuro... Okay, you know what? It's fine. It was the remains of the IV stand from the nurse's office, sharpened into a pointed weapon, even. With her weapon in hand, Mukuro responded in a cold, mechanical tone. That's fine. I'm already used to that. None of the fear she felt when Monokuma suggested that Makoto would blame her had appeared on her face. Her path was clear to her now, and she calmly issued her demand to Monokuma. Junko, open the gates. The shock of such a straightforward demand left both Monokumas momentarily speechless, but soon they replied, "Huh? Why?" "So we can all leave here together." Another straightforward answer. Both Monokumas faced each other and began gesturing as if they were whispering to one another. Mukuro knew their movements were intended to mock her, Unmoved, she continued to speak to Junko directly. I think they'll understand if I show them the outside world, and then they'll stop doubting Makoto. You always find new ways to disappoint me, Mukuro. Did you forget why the school has an air filtration system? It's true that the air outside is polluted, but I don't think it'll kill us immediately. No, but maybe in a little bit. Besides, it's better than them being trapped in the school and forced to kill each other. How could you be so sure the others will go along with you? You know what I mean, right? Before the former headmaster got turned into space dust, he interviewed the others and they all agreed that they wanted to stay in the school. That was before their memories had even been erased. Do you really want to betray their wishes? Mukuro blinked and slowly stepped forward. I don't really care about their feelings. Huh? You're all I need, Junko, so don't worry. I'm always watching out for you. I'm going to make sure you feel despair, and I'm going to make Makoto and all the others happy. If you want to revel in your own despair that badly, then I'll trust the hope Makoto gave me and take my chances with them instead of you. Oof. Oof. That's where I keep mine. Up her sleeve? Fine. That's way less fun, though. Mukuro's brief but powerful words caused the Monokumas to turn and talk to each other again. Oh my, this doesn't look good at all. Monokuma A, this child doesn't realize her own hypocrisy. She's so disappointing that she's starting to reach critical mass, right, Monokuma B? The two Monokumas looked at Mukuro, who seemed ready to destroy them, and said, What do you think, Monokuma C? Mukuro was taken aback by their question, but her instinct suddenly kicked in and she immediately dodged away. At that moment, a third Monokuma, claws extended, passed by where her head had been previously. This new Monokuma unit landed with several spins and faced Mukuro, who had clung to the remains of the surveillance camera still attached to the ceiling. Okay, she's up in the air now. I know where the fanfic is going now. No. Yeah, not Monokuma A, B, and C. I know. I agree with you both, A and B. The three Monokumas line themselves up. To the students locked inside this academy, this sight would have been akin to a nightmare. Right on! Pooh! The three units began speaking in perfect harmony as their 6 eyes looked up at Mukuro. Suddenly, they each jumped away in 3 separate directions and kicked off the walls. The path of each unit's triangular attack all converged to a single point. Mukuro, who was still clinging to the ceiling. She was surrounded by razor-sharp claws coming at her from different directions. But the situation wasn't even a nightmare to Mukuro. Compared to the time she fended off 3 assassins who had invaded her camp one night, back when she was still a member at Fenrir, this was nothing. This thought crossed Mukuro's mind as she dangled from the ceiling with one hand and thrashed her limbs around like a tornado. Intercepted by this move, the Monokumas fell to the floor with a loud crash. Mukuro landed on the ground and chased after one of them, brandishing her metal bar. Suddenly, she stopped moving and took a huge leap back. One of the Monokumas exploded with a deafening roar. He had detonated the bomb inside of himself in an attempt to take Mukuro down with him. But thanks to her honed battlefield instincts, Mukuro managed to avoid the explosions. Can you teach a thing or two to Toko, Mukuro? Toko is very bad at avoiding explosions. Could we have a little classroom session? What about adult D? Literally. Imagine reminiscing while tangling and attacking 3 Monokumas all at once. I remember one time we were playing DBD. I literally like got hooked, and I was like, I wonder what we're gonna do in Animal Crossing tomorrow. As my character's like dying on the fucking hook. Where did she have to go to dodge an explosion? This is a big room. This is a big room. By the door. She looked toward the hallway, expecting the explosion to have attracted the attention of Sakura and the others, but she didn't hear any footsteps approaching. Monokuma's voice rang from within the dense smoke. Oh, you don't have to worry. I already told the other students to assemble in the cafeteria. They were eager to follow my orders after I told them I'd disarmed the poison gas. And that special police unit was coming to get them. I'm pretty sure Kyoko and the others are all in the cafeteria by now. I'm sure Makoto is with them too. I doubt Sakura will get too rough with him, but I'm sure Byakuya will torture Makoto once he wakes up. I can just imagine him rubbing salt or pouring soy sauce into his open wounds. Man, I'm getting all hot and bothered right now. Bwahahaha. Maybe she was just so close she didn't explode until the logic of Toko being the complete opposite side of the hall. True. Must be a baby gap explosion. Oh my goodness. As she listened to Monokuma's overlapping voices, Mukuro tilted her head slightly and asked, I'm pretty sure they're gonna find out that you lied about that special police unit. Are you really okay with that? No worries! Once I've dealt with you, I don't care at all if they find out I was lying. You still don't get it? They keep adding quotation marks. Every time they talk, there's more quotation marks. What is happening? This is not how you write English. Are there just more and more Monokumas popping up? Bro, killing me. You still don't get it? You're such a disappointment! It suddenly dawned on Mukuro. Not the reason why Monokuma didn't care if the students found out he lied, but rather that the voices of the Monokumas in the smoke were gradually increasing in number. Okay. They are multiplying. Next page is just all quotes. Boo! Boo! As the smoke started to clear, the shadows of 3 Monokumas appeared. The one that exploded couldn't have revived, so a new one must have come to take its place. But there's no way Mukuro only heard 3 Monokumas talking just now. Yeah, there were like 7 quotation marks, dude. As if to prove her hearing had been accurate, the Monokumas suddenly made their move. The 3 Monokumas bent over and began twirling their upper bodies. From behind them, the new Monokumas emerged like after images brought to life. The second row of Monokumas mimicked the earlier ones with only 1 frame of delay, revealing even more Monokumas behind them. Eventually, Mukuro realized that there were 3 rows containing 10 Monokumas each. Oh, now we're into different symbols. We can't do quotation marks anymore. We gotta do whatever those things are called. I don't remember. Perfect. I gotta stay hydrated. How we doing? We're on page 480. Boo! Did you know that this is called a circle dance? Monokuma's 30 voices spoke in perfect harmony as how is Junko controlling 30 Monokumas? Why is 1 Monokuma threatening and but 100 just whimsical? I wish I knew. Monokuma's 30 voices spoke in perfect harmony as they divulged information that had nothing to do with the current situation. Mukuro already knew that multiple Monokumas were positioned throughout the academy, but only Junko knew how many Monokumas actually existed. Mukuro had no way of knowing if these 30 Monokumas were part of a larger contingent. The flock of two-toned teddy bears continued to twirl around. That is quite the sentence. The flock of two-toned teddy bears continued to twirl around. The flock of two-toned teddy bears continued to twirl around. Mukuro felt like she was being bombarded with hypnotic images, but faced with this abnormal sight, the ultimate soldier remained calm and maintained her focus. She was nothing like the girl who had panicked earlier in the gym when Makoto was impaled. As she stood before 30 emissaries of despair, she slowed her breathing and allowed her heart rate to accelerate. It was instinct, not fear or panic, that sent her blood racing throughout her body, speeding up the reaction time of her cells. As her senses sharpened, the Monokumas began speaking to her again. Don't worry, I'll make sure Makoto doesn't die. As long as everyone lives, I can reset their memories as many times as I want. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, that's right. All your effort, hope, dreams, and determination are going right in the garbage heap. The Monokumas took turns speaking in groups of 10, as if the mastermind controlling the Monokumas wanted to show off her ability to manipulate them. Yeah, no fucking kidding. However, the ultimate soldier knew what the true purpose behind all of this was. She strained her ears to the limit and noticed a certain sound hidden among the Monokuma's voices. Mukuro's face remained perfectly still as she kicked off the floor. The moment she moved to the side, a roaring sound shook the entrance hall. The ceiling-mounted turrets in front of the gate started raining bullets down on Mukuro. Oh my fucking god. The Monokumas were just the mastermind's decoy while she tried to blow her away. As if further trapping her, the Monokumas charged at Mukuro through the storm of bullets. Mukuro guessed that the mastermind programmed their movements in advance so that they wouldn't get hit by a single bullet. She ran for the gates, evading waves of bullets and claws every step of the way, programming 30 Monokumas and 2 turrets while also predicting Mukuro's escape route. This would be considered impossible for anyone, but Mukuro knew it was possible for Junko. Water arrow makes ya. It's hilarious. Junko has to use this much power just to demobilize her sister. Yeah, literally. Mukuro is crazy. As ultimate despair, she possessed despair-inducing abilities that surpassed the capabilities of any normal human. Her display of power was only fulfilling Mukuro with despair. The scene playing out in front of Mukuro was brimming with despair. The adorably deadly Monokumas laughed and danced like reapers as bullets whizzed through the air. It was despair to the point of absurdity, and it was all for Mukuro. But in the presence of such despair, Mukuro felt a strange serenity. For me? Junko's doing all of this for me? Junko, are you watching me right now? In the end, perhaps Mukuro really was a disappointment. She clenched her fists. Junko, thank you. The sound of gunfire overshadowed her whisper, and Mukuro fell completely silent. As a member of Ultimate Despair, Mukuro's heart was filled with joy, though she was filled with emotion. Her eyes had lost their sparkle. Silence filled the air. Even the gunfire from the turret seemed to stop for a moment. But that was only an illusion to the one controlling Monokuma. Something strong enough to silence the gunfire and avoid being picked up by the sensors spread through the school with Mukuro at the center. I'll make sure I do this right. With that final thought, she closed her mouth and turned off her emotions. As she ran through the waves of scorching bullets, the air around her began to grow colder. As this coolness spread into her heart, it began to beat in a mechanical fashion. Several seconds later, Mukuro's body and mind melded together and became one with her surroundings. Her temperature now dominated the battlefield. Despair, bullets, and Monokumas filled the area. Mukuro predicted their movements and jumped into the air without any hesitation. One of the Monokumas jumped at her, but she avoided his attack, kicked his body, and launched herself in midair. Bullets pierced through the space Mukuro was previously occupying, striking the falling Monokuma right through its internal bomb. The impact of the bullet caused it to explode, sending fiery Monokuma parts everywhere. As she rode the blast wave, Mukuro balanced herself in midair. Yeah, like that's possible. As she kicked away 3 Monokumas that leapt after her. She moved so gracefully, she was practically flying. Demobilized, she says. Would have been so epic to see Mukuro in the anime, I agree. Yeah, see her do like a little more, you know? In contrast, the Monokumas threw themselves into the path of oncoming bullets, exploding one after the other. Some of them exploded near the main entrance, but their blasts didn't even leave a scratch. With full control over the entrance hall, Mukuro evaded bullets and confirmed that the bombs inside Monokumas weren't enough to destroy the door. But she refused to stop. Mukuro needed to get information on what she must do to escape the academy. Ah, that's what she's doing. Jiggle physics, right? Epic action sequence. She had no desire to kill Junko. Mukuro wanted to fill Junko with despair by instilling hope into the future of Makoto and the other students. That was Mukuro's ultimate goal. Get information. In contrast to her determination, her mouth stayed shut, but this did not mean Mukuro was not currently speaking to Junko. This situation, this battle of death and destruction, was a conversation of sorts for Mukuro. All she knew how to do was fight. She thought she wasn't interested in anything else. She thought she didn't need anything else. All Mukuro needed was to be all Mukuro needed to be was a sword to fulfill her sister's desire for despair. That purpose alone was the crux of her existence, and she lived her entire life convincing herself that she couldn't do anything else. That's why power was like a language to Mukuro. A battle to the death revealed more about her heart than mere words ever could. Her words were in the wind of savagery that blows across the battlefield, uprooting others who also speak the language of violence. This was true even against her sister. When Junko would berate her sister, Mukuro couldn't talk back. All she could do was cower and apologize profusely. But it's different now. For the first time, Junko was using a language her sister actually recognized. The child of despair who tore the world apart was speaking to her sister with the language of power. Mukuro's heart filled with joy. For that reason, she strengthened her focus on her conversation with Junko, and that emotion began to gradually disappear. On this frigid battlefield, Mukuro continued her heated conversation. Endless rounds of despair fired from the school turrets, but Mukuro's words intercepted every last violent shot that threatened to shatter her body and mind in half. She quickly realized that the Monokumas hadn't decreased in number at all, no matter how many she kept destroying. Not only that, she noticed that more Monokumas had been joining in the fray until there were nearly 50 of them for Mukuro to fight, but Mukuro's resolve wouldn't break so easily. As she continued to wield her power, her heart began to fill with something that was neither hope nor despair. She learned despair from being abandoned by Junko, and she learned... Hi, Toro, thank you for the lurk. I hope you had a good stream. She learned hope from her acts of violence from Mukuro, who had no interest in this world. The small space in front of the gate was a reflection of her life, a representation of her perfect world. I'm just making sure Total can be here, but we're playing the second game technically. But this is like a what if story from the first game, so you've seen the first game, so we're good. This disappointing girl, filled with endless disappointment, who knew of no other way to live, continued her lonely dance. She surrendered herself to the rhythm of despair, which accompanies the music of hope. Ooh! Uh-oh. Are we with Junko now? I'm scared. Computer's room, innermost area. The Monokuma room. How much time has passed? The surveillance cameras? Oh, my lip. Even if she hadn't, it doesn't seem to have any spoilers. Well, Junko controlling the Monokumas. And Mukuro. Dude, I'm dying. I've had this really bad cold sore. I get them sometimes. When I get them, even though it's rare, they're like really bad. Like some people just get like a normal cold sore. Not me. Not me. Mine always come in bunches of 3. Because my body hates me, obviously. It's starting to heal now though. I caught it early. Just good. Same, Bob? That's fucking crazy. That's really crazy. And I went to scratch my chin and I accidentally scratched the cold sore. That's why I said ow. Excuse me. Yep. So annoying. How much time had passed? The surveillance cameras at the gates were capturing footage of countless Monokumas falling at the hands of a child who fought like a raging demon. The Monokumas bolstered their numbers, and now 100 of them were trying to sink their claws into Mukuro. Most of them were running on autopilot, reacting to her movements based on prior information they had received in advance. But despite standing before hundreds of mechanical adversaries, Mukuro's... What did I say? Mercury? It's like, oh, hi. Hi there, you piece of shit. Yeah, the worst. Okay, let me start over. But despite standing before hundreds of mechanical adversaries, Mukuro's face showed no fear. She hadn't sustained a single injury, giving her a presence that was nearly divine to behold, though Sakura Ogami was powerful enough to injure her arm. Yeah, no kidding. Sakura's OP. Mukuro in her current state could potentially fight Sakura to a draw now without relying on firearms. She took complete control of the battlefield, taking in her surroundings as if they were a part of herself. She dodged attacks from the rear as though she had eyes on the back of her head and stabbed through Monokuma's weak points with her metal bar. No matter where the attacks came from, Mukuro deflected them all as if her skin was covered in ice. And Mukuro's OP, yeah. That's true. Describing her as ultimate no longer did her justice. Mukuro had transcended the boundaries of humanity and became a pure killing machine. But despite that, even though she understood the ludicrous power her sister possessed, Junko was not afraid. She felt not one iota of fear. After all Junko could feel was despair. She even started to admire her sister's attempt to fill her with despair, but that sentiment quickly filled Junko with an orgastic? Is that how you say that? Is that how you spell that word? Not the booty bar. Yes, the booty bar. To clean my glasses. Yeah, despair horny. Yep. 100%. We've seen how she looks when she's feeling despair. She's all drooly and shit. Orgiastic? Yeah. Of course, Mimi. But that sentiment quickly filled Junko with an orgastic ecstasy of despair. Junko knew. She knew that Mukuro was neither hope nor despair. She was just a phenomenon. A disappointing girl who no longer understood herself, who only knew how to be violent because it was all she could believe in anymore. Mukuro had become an avatar of destruction, beyond that of any military force. She couldn't even be considered a soldier anymore. She was a natural disaster, like a typhoon or a tornado. Or perhaps, like gravity, she was now a fundamental force of the universe that only existed to bring despair to Junko. Amazing. The mastermind enjoyed watching her sister go all out. If Mukuro destroyed everything and ruined her life, Junko would still be comforted by that despair. She could just go right ahead and overpower her. Junko considered this for a few seconds until a familiar, hopeless habit reared its head. Her habit of getting so bored. Even when I'm dead, I'm bored. Get over yourself, slut. We're dead. Her habit of getting so bored that it made her sick. The girl who had been grinning as she watched the screen now bore a look of calm stoicism. And she reached for the microphone connected to Monokuma's speakers. Mukuro was no longer human anymore, but Junko knew how to bring her back. It was a simple feeling, really. And with the hopeless feeling of Mukuro in her mind, the mastermind said just one word. Mukuro. Hello? In front of the main entrance. Mukuro. That voice, it was calling her name. Instead of using Monokuma's voice filter, Junko's natural voice was coming out of a Monokuma unit. That's all it took. With one word, Mukuro Ikusawa stopped being a force of nature and became a person again. Monokuma would not miss this opportunity. As if moving to the beat of Mukuro's shaking heart, a torrent of claws leapt to attack her, but Mukuro trusted her instincts and twisted her entire body to fend off the attack, leaving her with only a few scrapes here and there. Whoops. Nope, I didn't miss anything. Mukuro, watch out! Huh? As soon as Mukuro heard that voice, her mind went completely blank. There was no mistaking it. That was Makoto's scream, the scream that saved her from the spears of Gungnir and changed her destiny. Hee ooh Mukuro. Literally. No, that's wrong! I shouldn't shout. It took her 1/10 of a second to realize that voice was just a sound clip that Junko had replayed. What a bitch! Oh my god, Junko. but it was more than enough time to drag Mukuro, who had regained her humanity, into despair. Right when she recovered from her moment of shock, Monokuma appeared behind her and roundhouse kicked her in the temple. Full-on Tatsu kick. Wow, classic Junko. Literally. She twisted her head to roll with the blow, but at that moment, a different Monokuma attacked her from the opposite side with a headbutt. Ouch. And as soon as Mukuro dodged that attack, 3 Monokumas launched simultaneous drop kicks and knocked her to the ground. Ugh. Where did she get that clip from? From when Makoto yelled it earlier, probably. When he pushed her out of the way of the spears. Oh. I think that was just Mukuro thinking. Where did it go? Hello? Wasn't it in brackets? Okay, I guess I'm crazy. It's fine. Yeah, I just said it like that because it's funny. Excuse me. Okay. The fact that they weren't using their claws meant that they weren't trying to kill Mukuro right away. Before she could stand up again, dozens of Monokumas waiting for her on the floor climbed on top of Mukuro and pinned her limbs. One of the Monokumas waddled over to Mukuro as she lay face down on the floor and laughed. A pretty girl getting pinned by all these me's. I wonder if I should feel more excited about this. That's how I read it in my head too, yeah. Don't make that face. If I wanted to kill you, I'd just pump you full of bullets right now. Don't make that face. If I wanted to kill you, I'd just pump you full of bullets right now. But I don't think the audience watching this on TV would like that ending very much. I need to make sure I do this the right way this time. What are you planning to do to me? Mukuro asked in her emotionless voice. Monokuma guffawed and answered, nothing. I'm just gonna stick to the original plan and make you play the killing game at this school. I'll erase everyone's memories again and I'll just make them redo the introduction and the entrance ceremony again. But Sayaka's not here. Karma, thou perverts. I love Gundam. In typical Monokuma fashion, he leaned his face towards Mukuro. But it'd be boring if we had to redo everything. Maybe this time I'll have you participate as Mukuro Ikusaba. I'll take away even more of your memories like I did with that irritating detective girl. You'll just be a poor little girl with no memory at all. As Monokuma talked and wiggled his body from side to side, the other Monokumas danced and twirled around. Did their little nub tails go doo-doo-doo out of their butts? Like they do in Despair Girls? Amid this fantastical scene, Monokuma continued to describe his hopeless plan in a nonchalant manner. At first, you'll be the girl with amnesia, and everyone will feel so sorry for you. But as they unravel the mystery of this academy, they'll find out who you really are. It's exciting to think that how they'll treat you when that happens. Knowing you'd probably kill someone purely on instinct. Maybe I should rethink my rules about self-defense. Boo! You can't. Her memories would be erased. There was nothing she could do about her classmates hating her. But losing even her childhood memories would mean her connection to Junko would be severed as well. Even if Mukuro had no interest in the world, that was unbearable, even for her. I've heard of New Game Plus before. Oh. Sorry, my throat's bugging me. I've heard of New Game Plus before, but this is the first time I'll get to see a New Game Minus. Should I tie you up for fun? Or maybe we should make this game even more masochistic. Forget hard mode, very hard mode, and Inferno mode. Want to just skip ahead to Impossible mode? Maybe I'll erase your memories after I drag you on a motorcycle, pummel you with 1,000 baseballs, burn you at the stake, and crush you with an excavator. I think Junko's a little upset. Mukuro knew what Monokuma was talking about. He was describing the tools they had prepared for the various executions they had planned for the students. After everyone reintroduces themselves, they'll walk around the school grounds and eventually find a flat-chested girl with amnesia, covered in bandages, with Fenrir's tattoo on her right hand. I'd bet a certain fan base might get off on that. Okay. If this were a game, that would increase sales by 500%. Though Monokuma sounded like he was joking, everything he said was deadly serious. As evidence, Mukuro heard a rumbling sound off in the distance. Now then, your sweet ride is on its way. Based on the engine's noise, Mukuro surmised that it was the large motorcycle that was supposed to be used for one of the executions. But how did she know who was gonna be the blackened? Are they just saying that she had one for all of them? Okay, but what about the butter on waffles, literally? I took the time to bring this all the way from the punishment room, so you better be grateful! The sound of the roaring engine grew louder and louder, like the approaching footsteps of death. Mukuro wondered how Monokuma would drive it with such tiny arms and legs, but then she remembered she was dealing with an ultimate despair. Junko would make the impossible possible just by bringing about despair. A despair that went hand in hand with Mukuro's fate. Did I fail? I couldn't fill Junko with despair? I couldn't save Makoto and the others? Questions raced through Mukuro's mind, but she wasn't able to answer them. There's no way she could have answered them so easily. After all, she was still alive. Probably had one for all. Yeah. Prepared for everyone. Makoto and Kiri's are the exact same. Yeah. I think that was just based on the circumstances. But no way Junko, she probably could have guessed what motives would trigger which people to actually kill. That's true. That's true. The sound of the motorcycle grew closer and closer, as if it was threatening to break Mukuro's spirit. Suddenly, Monokuma stopped moving. The other Monokumas continued during their automatic movements. As this strange event unfolded, Mukuro noticed something. The motorcycle had suddenly gone quiet. After a few seconds, the engine exploded to life and began to approach even faster than before. Only a few seconds later, what appeared in front of the main entrance was an enormous motorcycle that plowed through groups of Monokumas like a predator hunting its prey. The rider on this motorcycle was none other than Mondo Owada. I'm confused. Bob, thank you for the hydrate the girl by checking the hi, I'm new woo. Welcome in. Okay, Mondo. What's going on, buddy? Mukuro and Monokuma were both visibly shocked by this turn of events. Instead of addressing them, Mondo accelerated the motorcycle he stole from Monokuma directly towards Mukuro. Just before his front tire touched Mukuro, he popped a reverse wheelie and turned the entire motorcycle around. The back wheel swept over Mukuro's back, knocking away all the Monokumas that were pinning her. Hey, can you stand? Mondo asked, and begrudgingly offered his hand to Mukuro. Let's fucking go. Mondo to the rescue, yep. Can't believe he's not butter. I know. Confused, Mukuro took his hand and stood up. What are you doing, Mondo? I was so close, one of the Monokumas protested. Not in a normal voice, but as the hacker, Bashika Madare. Oh yeah, you're Bashiki or whatever, right? That's right. Why are you helping a terrorist? I ain't bragging about this or anything, but I have no clue if you or this girl is lying. The veins in his temple began to bulge, and his cheeks flushed with anger as Mondo said, But still, I ain't the type to just stand around while some idiot gangs up on a girl. What are you saying? Get a hold of yourself. You must be experiencing Stockholm Syndrome. You're deluded yourself into thinking you're friends with a criminal who's taken you hostage. Monokuma tried to explain to Mondo, but he ignored him, took Mukuro's hand, and pulled her onto the back of the motorcycle. Oh, shut the fuck up. I don't know nothing about Stockholms or syndromes. We know, Mondo. We know. But don't go acting like you can boss me around. This is a miracle. Bishiki, do you love me? Mondo, honey. Just a little bit of Hiro and Hajime energy. Is it the curse of the H? Is that the problem? Giving me Hiro energy. It can't. Uh-oh. Skipped a page. Okay. I didn't. Just kidding. As Mondo shouted, he revved the motorcycle as if he was using it to punctuate his words. The ceiling-mounted turrets began moving, but the two disappeared before the tourists could take aim at the motorcycle. As they zoomed through the hallway, countless Monokumas chased after them, waving their claws wildly through the air. Why? Asked Mukuro. Huh? Shouted Mondo. His voice was even louder than the sound of the engine. Don't get the wrong idea. I don't trust you at all. He lowered his voice slightly, as if he were whispering to himself, but still, I don't know, but I felt like I could trust what he said. He? Inquired Mukuro. Now banned. Yeah. And N. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sick of them. But there was no time for questions. The unit leading the Monokumas chasing after the motorcycle had almost caught up to them, but then, like an enormous maw of some fearsome creature, they brandished their claws in perfect unison. At that moment, the motorcycle zoomed by a certain girl, a girl whose fighting ability surpasses that of any normal human, the strongest girl on Earth. With a fighting spirit that defied comprehension, the ultimate martial artist kicked off to the floor. A sound even louder than the motorcycle's engine filled the room. When Mukuro looked back, she saw Sakura landing on the floor, sending a pack of Monokumas flying several meters away. Bob? What's up? What's up? Sakura? If she heard Mukuro mumble her name, Sakura didn't acknowledge it. Like a statue of a fearsome god king, she calmed her breathing as she stood before the pack of Monokumas, ready for battle. Your pursuit methods seem unbecoming for one who claims to be the ultimate hacker. Oh, she's talking to the Monokumas, the Bashiki guy. Okay. An overpowering aura seeped from her skin, and her skin shimmered with an intense heat began to fill the hallway. I read that weird. An overpowering aura seeped from her skin, and her skin shimmered as an intense heat began to fill the hallway. Unlike the power of Mukuro's sheer violence, this was the power of martial arts. Oh, you were guessing based on the context of the strongest girl on Earth? Aw. I thought she was talking to Mukuro too. Yeah, I was like, what the heck? Mukuro froze the air around her, and time along with it, but Sakura was generating enough heat to boil space itself as she stood before the Monokumas. With that heat stinging her back, Mukuro looked ahead. Wow. There's a lot going on. Hifumi and Chihiro were cautiously peeking from behind the door leading to the dorms, while Aoi and Taka kept watch from inside the building. After passing by them, Mondo slowed down the motorcycle as he reached the front door of the cafeteria and turned in to a complete stop. The other students looked warily at Mukuro. But among these students, Mukuro noticed two people who weren't regarding her with suspicion. One was Kyoko, who seemed to be studying the situation. The other one was a skinny boy who was leaning against Kyoko's shoulder. Oh, Makoto's leaning on Kyoko's shoulder. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sakura is an icon, literally. Boil space. Also, sorry gang, but her superior goddess queen energy far surpasses god king energy, literally. Literally. Queens are always more powerful than the kings. They just know how to do it quietly. Quietly. And intellectually. Instead of just killing people. Mukuro's lips began to tremble as she sat on the back of the motorcycle. Ignoring the pain coursing through his body, Makoto smiled at Mukuro and repeated what he had said to her earlier. I'm glad you're safe, Mukuro. Oh, it's wholesome. Unfortunately, Mukuro was unable to realize her hope was filling her little sister with despair. Instead, she had successfully planted the seeds of hope into her fellow students. Aww. Makoto! Literally. Makoto had barely regained consciousness while Mukuro was fighting the horde of Monokumas at the main entrance. When he woke up, he did something extremely simple. He talked about his memories. Most of the students were still skeptical even after listening to Mukuro's recorded confessions on Chihiro's laptop. Obviously, they were still not entirely convinced at first when Makoto woke up, but after Sakura asked him a certain question, the ambiance completely changed. Then beyond the walls of the school, the world is completely destroyed? You're saying that there's no one else alive? Makoto slowly sat up to answer Sakura's meek question. Don't worry. Oh no. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Please. Please. I don't... No. I did, Mimi, I did. It's so cute. It's so cute. Rereading is pain. It literally is. Don't worry. I'm sure Kenichiro is still safe. I'm sure he'll still keep his promise to you. Sakura gasped. Kenichiro was the only man she couldn't defeat. A man who had promised her a rematch and made her one other promise as well. How do you know that name? How do you know about that promise? Because you told me. No, Koto slowly corrected himself. You told all of us. Sakura was silent after hearing those words, but she then faced the other students and spoke in a loud, clear voice. I'm going to trust Makoto. Sakura! Though Aoi was shocked, Sakura continued to speak with determination. Let's fucking go, Sakura. What Makoto just said is something I've kept locked away inside my memories. In fact, I was planning to keep that a secret until the day I died, but if I shared that secret, that means that there was once a strong bond between Makoto, myself, and with my fellow students as well. Makoto continued to talk in a gentle tone, though it couldn't have been good for his health. He continued to slowly talk about the memories that the other students no longer had. Well, why do you know about the story I'm planning to write? Are you a specialist Nen user who can predict the future? You already finished that story, Hifumi. You had me help you with inking. Oh, this is sad. I'm sad. I think it's just that much more emotional that it was Sakura Makoto. Yeah, like it's Sakura. Yeah. I completely agree. And that user. God damn it, Hifumi. What? Well, wait a second. How do you know I extorted money from that girl related to Kuzuryu Clan? Because you even tried to sell my organs to them, Hiro. You even tried to sell my organs to them. Is that a Hunter x Hunter reference? Nice. His wounds were excruciating, but even so, Makoto kept smiling and talking about their lives together. As if it was his duty to do so now that he had regained his memories. As the other students listened to him, they slowly began to realize something. The vivid accounts he was providing couldn't be explained as just passing knowledge. Clearly, some kind of bond between them all had been erased. Only Byakuya remained cynical. Only Byakuya. I mean, who else? There's no way I would have grown closer to any of you. It's likely that you're all secretly working together. Though Byakuya was still hostile towards Makoto's recollection of their memories, for the time being, he determined that Makoto wasn't actually a terrorist. Wow. Good for you, Byakuya. You're really taking some big steps here, my dude. Mukuro had bought enough time for Makoto to wake up and share his memories with the others. Even if she hadn't intended to do that, it was still a small sliver of hope that she grasped tightly. And now, as she looked at the boy who had smiled at her, Mukuro didn't know what to say. She couldn't think of anything to say at all. The battle was over, and Mukuro was now back to being a disappointing girl. She turned away from everyone's faces and apologetically climbed off the back of the motorcycle. But Makoto saw her and slowly opened his mouth to say, "Thank you, Mukuro. You saved my life." Makoto gave her words of sincere gratitude between his weak breaths. Mukuro couldn't bring herself to look at him as she mumbled to herself, "Why? Huh? If Kyoko told you, then you already know what I did, right?" After regaining his memories and learning the truth, Mukuro should have been nothing but a hated traitor to him. Why would he smile at someone like her? Because Makoto is the most precious, wholesome fucking being in the whole wide world. That's why. That's why. It's a good one. Get kind of slow, yeah. All animes have that. Because he's next, or obviously. Yeah, I have hair in my mouth. Okay, I'm good. La 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 la. Okay. Makoto kept her head down. Makoto smiled. Mukuro kept her head down. Makoto smiled, as if he was unsure how to respond, and said, "Well, I guess you're right, but you also saved my life many times during these past 2 years," and Makoto took a deep, quiet breath and smiled at Mukuro again. "You're my friend. We all spent time with each other. It would be great if we could look for a different path, not despair. And if there's any way I can help you, I will." "Do you really think I can walk another path at this point? I don't know what you can do, or even what I can do, but I think it's more important to look for that path instead of actually finding it." Was this intentional, or just a coincidence? Just before he regained his memories, Makoto had said something similar to Mukuro when she spoke to him in the nurse's office as Junko. Yeah, the names, yeah. The world literally doesn't deserve him but needs him, exactly. Regardless of whether he lost his memories or regained them, those words revealed Makoto's true character. As Mukuro confirmed that to herself, Makoto blurted out something that was almost too trusting. "And it's not just you, even Junko can." But he was immediately interrupted. Ah, scary. Boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Monokuma's face appeared on every monitor in the academy, and his laughter seemed to be coming out of every speaker. Oopsie. I could have kept pretending that to be the ultimate hacker, but it's so boring to impersonate someone who doesn't even exist. If this keeps up, I'll lose my identity and turn into Kanokuma. God. Kyoko looked up at a surveillance camera and addressed Monokuma directly. "You seem to give up pretty easily." "There isn't a bear anywhere that gives up as easily as I do. Regardless, I'm pretty sure Chihiro has figured out the secret of my control program by now. So just as I thought, you included that program on purpose." Kyoko realized something when Mukuro told her about Junko. There were 2 reasons such a hateful person would intentionally leave an obvious clue inside the Monokuma units. Either Junko wanted the students to learn the truth about the outside world and themselves on their own and turn their hopes into despair, or she was looking forward to that clue resulting in her own plan being undone, which would allow her to feel despair towards herself. It's all for despair. It's all for despair. So it was Junko all along. What? Junko? As in Junko Enoshima? You gotta be kidding me, Bob. There's no way. There's no way that could be true. Kiryu's just genius, she is. She was an angel of everlasting darkness, delighting in her own despair. Crazy. And using it to spread despair and destruction to those around her. Why would someone like that continue to play the role of Monokuma? Wait, it was Junko? Oh my god. Oh my god. Junko Enoshima? Actually, I set that program for Chihiro to discover. I set that program for Chihiro to discover if she happened to be one of the final 5 survivors. I feel so sad and empty that my preparation was a waste, but I'm going to think about it positively. The word retreat doesn't exist in Monokuma's dictionary. Nervousness began to grip the students as Monokuma continued talking in his relaxing, uplifting voice. Is it really uplifting? Or relaxing? I don't know about that. Now then, it looks like everyone's here, including Toko, who's still tied up in her room. So let's start this heart-throbbing, exciting special graduation exam. Huh? The students broke out in noisy confusion, but Monokuma ignored them and kept talking. Don't think about it too hard. Relax, relax. Change relax to upward for all I care. What? I'll still be the most adorable bear here. Byakuya, visibly annoyed with Monokuma's nonsensical rambling, shouted, I already know it's you, Junko. Stop this stupid game and show yourself. Oh my, don't you know? If you want to lure the mastermind out of her heavenly hidey hole, you need to bring a worthy sacrifice. You're not worthy enough at all. Do you really think the mastermind would show herself for your pathetic hope and despair? Blah ha 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 ha. He roared maniacally, then began to explain the special graduation exam. Oh boy. Where's Junko? Monica. Oh shit. Which voice of his is relaxing? Literally 0 of them. Okay. What page are we on? We only have like 100 pages to go, guys. We're almost done. If you pass my exam, everyone will graduate, but if you fail, you'll be held back for a whole year. I'll reset your memories, give you a fresh new lease on life, and you'll reintroduce yourselves at the start of the school year again. They say people's lives don't come with a reset button, but I'm not a people. That is in fact what it said. Whether it's soft resets or hard resets, I can do as I please. Yasuhiro seemed confused by the other students, but the other students knew what Monokuma meant by reset. Of course Hiro was confused. Literally thought you were gonna say 10? No. No. But not all of them are full pages, so some of them go by really fast. Now we're already on page 600. Oh, you guys can't see it because I'm in the way. We're already on page 600. There's only 100 more to do. Hiro was confused. How unusual. Yeah, never heard that one before. He was going to force them to relive their school lives again. As Yasuhiro struggled to understand, Taka pointed at a nearby monitor and shouted, "Stop this already. No matter what you do to us, we'll never commit murder." Okay, they all say that. These past few days should have already made that clear to you. What was that? Jumped Monokuma. Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my god. The pages aren't that long though. Like imagine a full book. If this wasn't Arial font, like size 12, this would be like what? Maybe 60 pages of a story? Barely nothing. Yeah, it just seems like a lot. Of course, no one here would ever take another human being's life for any reason. As Taka shouted, one of the students, a pale-faced girl standing apart from the others, looked away. It was Sayaka. Apparently Sayaka's still here. I forgot Sayaka was here. It's because she's so boring. Not the size 12 Arial font. Come on. Would you prefer Times New Roman? You were right, Bob. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was my bad completely. me and Sanzi were talking about Taka earlier. She finally caught up on V3. And we started talking about Taka. Why was it? We've all come to hate every guy in the first game except Makoto. I like Mondo, she said. He just has some very serious trauma that he's never addressed. Yeah. And she said, you hate Taka? It's like, full caps. Dude, my man said, silence is consent. He can die. She said, in regards to that, I don't remember that being part of his story. I said it was during a free time, I believe, or maybe at the beginning of school mode story? And she said he was accused of that by Celeste, but that never happened. I said it wasn't directly towards sexual stuff, but still, uncool attitude to have. And she said, I understand in regards to that, but that's still a huge jump in logic. I don't think Taka, the ultimate moral compass, would ever do that. I said, I think he said some stupid shit in one of his free times too, so we're all just like, ew, at Taka now. She said, fair enough. He's not a favorite by any means. It's like, yeah. I said, I guess we're all just like, why would the ultimate moral compass even say something like that? It could have been a poor translation, though. She said, yeah, honestly, as many grammatical mistakes that there are wouldn't surprise me. It's also along the lines of, if you don't say anything, then you agree. And so far as having no opinion on activities or the like. Consent is synonymous. That was hard. With agreement. Said, yeah, that would make way more sense. She's like, yeah, out of context, it does sound horrible, but people rarely think that way. I was like, I sure fucking hope so. It's a horrible mentality to be encouraged. She said, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. It's true. It's true. Tried to frame Nagster. Yeah, Sayaka. I agree with her, not justifying what he did. Just like literally toxic masculinity. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, not personally like anything that he did, but it's just like, don't be saying that shit like that. Just don't. She also likes Nagito. Listen. I feel like it's hard for Sanji to hate characters. She's a very loving person. He's a moral compass when it comes to studying in school, though. Yeah, like his entire ultimate developed around working hard and studying. But that's true. It could be a poor translation. Yeah, yeah. I think at the end of the day, that's exactly what it was. Plus, they use the word consent in the trials, right? So maybe they just meant it in like a I'm agreeing with you, the way the word consent is used in the trials. And then when Taka said silence is consent, that's kind of the line that he was going for. Nagito should be an exception to the rule. Hajime is more likable than Nagito, true. Nagito literally is the reason so many deaths, yeah, and so much despair. And is like a psychopath. Yeah, not to mention, he's absolutely nutso. Hajime is really straight, he's just an idiot. That was a grammatically correct and complete sentence. Yep. That's because I dislike Nagito so much. I completely agree with you, Mimi. Hajime is low-key kind of rude too, really? You think so? I mean, yeah, he is kind of an asshole. I remember saying like a couple times, like, dude, what was it, like Sonya or Buki? And I was like, they just want to be excited about something. Just let them be excited about something. I'm like, what the fuck? You don't have to fucking kick them down. He did have those moments. He did indeed have those moments. Okay, where were we? Sayaka. No happy. As she trembled, a voice popped up from behind her. Oops, I'm not on the game. What do you think, Sayaka? She couldn't even turn around from sheer terror, but Sayaka knew. She knew Monokuma was standing right behind her. Uh-oh. Do you really think none of you will become a killer? So she knew, Junko knew, that Sayaka was already planning to kill someone. So they might have watched the DVDs by now? I'm guessing. Or it was just a feeling. Monokuma leaned towards Sayaka and asked her a question only she could hear. By the way, Sayaka, why did you go to Makoto's room when nothing strange had happened yet? Huh? Did you two have an inappropriate relationship? What would your fans think if they found out you made a move on a boy by sneaking into his room? Or were you there for some other reason? Wink, wink. She could barely make a sound, much less scream, as her trembling worsened. Monokuma had nothing to gain by cornering Sayaka and toying with her emotions like that. He simply wanted to see the young singer fall into despair over her true character. And for that reason, Monokuma did not relent. Hey, what were you trying to do to your close friend you've known for the past 2 years? Her determination from last night blended with the memories Makoto had recounted and ate away at Sayaka's mind like a disease. As her mind began to rip itself apart, she fell to her knees. A clear ball, flying at just under 105 miles per hour, struck Monokuma in the mouth with enough force to sink into his face. Leon? I'm gonna guess it was Leon. Her friends would probably be jelly, yeah. Yeah, Makoto's a cutie. The speaker in Monokuma's mouth was immediately destroyed as his body rolled into a wall and stopped moving. Sayaka came to her senses and looked where the ball came flying from. She saw Leon, breathing heavily as he stared intensely at Monokuma. Hiro grabbed him and yelled, "Ah, dude, why did you do that, Leon? That crystal ball is really valuable." Leon had stolen Hiro's crystal ball and thrown it at Monokuma. That Monokuma bastard was trying to take Sayaka hostage. What was I supposed to do? Dude, that crystal ball cost me $2 trillion. $2 trillion! They don't even print that much money anymore. Oh, bullshit. Besides, if the world is all screwed up, what the hell are you gonna need money for anyway? But if it's safe out there, I'll just join the major leagues or whatever and pay you back. Well, I could pay you back doing something else besides baseball. As the two argued, Sayaka fell to her knees. Hey, shouted Leon, running toward her. Sayaka, are you okay? Sayaka. She looked at him and stared blankly. Leon, she had made up her mind. She had raised her head as she said, there's something I need to confess to you later. What? Seriously? Sayaka was staring at Leon so intently that he briefly forgot about the current situation. Not just to you, but to Makoto and to the others too? Sayaka had made up her mind to confess the sin that was weighing heavily on her heart, but Leon seemed not to hear the latter half of her remark. He ran back to the others, slapped Ifumi and Yasuhiro on the backs, and shouted, "Alright everyone, let's ace the exam or whatever and get out of here already. There's no way I'm gonna let my happy memories of this place get taken away." The Monokuma inside the monitor responded, Fine. Now that things are finally coming to a boil, let's start the graduation exam." Monopoly money, right? Sakura, who had been outside the dormitory, suddenly appeared with some information. The Monokumas in the hallway are acting peculiar. The students all moved to the main building to see what Sakura was talking about. They saw 50 Monokumas standing in 2 rows along the walls of the hallway, and one standing at the very end of the hall. Oh boy. There was something strange on top of this Monokuma's head, an enlarged version of the escape button that Makoto had obtained from the Mono machine. As each student took in the sight, an announcement rang through the school. The me at the end of the hall has a button on top of his head that'll open the main entrance. You'll have 15 seconds to get that button, and if you do, I'll let you have it in place of a diploma. The students seemed surprised by the straightforward explanation. Only Celeste remained calm, and she asked Monokuma with a bored look on her face, "Of course, it is not as simple as running up and taking it, is it?" Oh ho ho, how mean. Do I look like the kind of headmaster that would interfere with the students' graduation? Forget the gunfire salutes. I'm gonna send my graduates off with some fireworks. 100 fireworks to be exact. Enough for 20 seconds of hardcore partying. The more perceptive students immediately realized what he was talking about. The bombs installed inside each Monokuma. They would explode one after the other, filling the hallway with fire as soon as time started. After 15 seconds, the me standing at the back of the hall is going to sacrifice himself to give you guys one final firework. By the way, this probably isn't important, but that button isn't very durable. This graduation exam was Monokuma's way of saying that he had no intention of letting anyone leave. It was clear from the explosion the students saw during the entrance exam that the halls of Hope's Peak Academy would be bathed in fire. Even if someone was lucky enough to survive the explosions, the burns on their body alone would be enough to send them into fatal shock. Their lungs might be completely incinerated by the scorched air before that. Even if they sacrificed one student to run through, the odds were low that they would even succeed. But there was no reason for every student to run in at once either, and a shadow of despair fell upon their faces. Nice, very nice. I almost want to take a picture, so I have those faces as a souvenir. Oops, take your meds. It's already 10 o'clock. What? 20 whole seconds? How generous. I know. Thank you, Monokuma. Thank you. Oh, too many. I'm taking them. I'm taking them. Okay. Take your meds, everybody. Okay. Let's finish. Hey! As Monokuma laughed from behind the monitor, Sakura stepped forward. I'll do it. I have only seen the explosion once, but I believe I'm capable of withstanding its power. No, shouted Hina. You can't. Even if you couldn't handle 100 of those explosions. Sakura shook her head. I'm the only one who even has a chance. Suddenly, Mondo remembered the motorcycle he parked inside the dormitory and said, The dormitory, and said, Hold up, that motorcycle might be fast enough to get through these explosions. I'll do it. Don't be hasty, urged Sakura. Even if the motorcycle is unharmed by the explosion, that doesn't mean its rider will be. As Sakura and others continued their debate, one person stepped toward the hallway lined with Monokuma's. I'll do it. Mukuro! Screamed Makoto weakly. Makoto. Nope. Mukuro. Okay, they did spell it wrong. They spelled her name wrong. On the third line. It's the ship name. For Makoto and Mukuro. Makuro. Now they fucking with us. They are. Mukuro, with her back facing Makoto, turned her head to the side slightly and gave him a small nod. She knew it would come to this. She knew why Monokuma would pose such an impossible exam. Junko is already looking forward to that for the next despair game. Or she's already looking forward to it, is she? She's going to erase everyone's memories, including mine. She just wants to torment us and fill us with despair before that happens. But Mukuro knew her sister's personality all too well, and that's why she was confident. She knew that the escape button was real. Whenever Junko brought despair to others, she always made sure there was a possibility that despair would befall her instead. If the students won this gamble and made it through this horrible situation, they would finally escape to the outside world. That outcome would obviously fill Junko with immense despair. In the same way she left a clue in Monokuma's control program, Junko could not be satisfied unless she took pains to assure her own destruction. It was this quality that made Junko the ultimate despair. That's why Mukuro was determined to do it. She knew she was the only person who stood a chance of making that outcome possible, even if she had to risk her life. But right now Mukuro wanted to live more than anything. She wanted to hold on to this world. A world she had no interest in previously. She didn't even know if this hesitation she felt was disappointing or not, but she wanted to live and continue searching for a new path. A path where she could abandon her submission to despair, where she could accept the sins of her past and continue to live. Mukuro, who was known as a war machine, found her heart beset by overwhelming fear and anxiety. Until now, it had never occurred to her that determination was necessary to live. As if she was brushing that fear aside, she quietly said, Thank you, Makoto. Literally the effects of meeting Makoto. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, the words she said to the boy who showed her new possibilities never reached his ears. Sakura, however, heard her and frowned as she said, If you're planning to sacrifice yourself as an act of penance, I'll stop you with all my power. Though her words were firm, there was unmistakable affection hiding in them. Both girls had dedicated their lives to battle, but yet Mukuro felt a twinge of jealousy towards Sakura for possessing something she lacked. Mukuro leaned towards Sakura and whispered in her ear, What? Are you serious? As Sakura's frown intensified, Monokuma's voice blared through the halls. Alright, I'm gonna start the exam now. Ready, set, go! There was no time for questions or objections. The frontmost Monokuma exploded, sending a roaring wave of heat through the hall, but Mukuro didn't look away. She began moving, powered by resolute determination. The irony, right? Monokuma room. As soon as the graduation exam started, the mastermind focused her control entirely on the Monokuma holding the escape button, and completely synchronized her field of vision with it. She knew what was going to happen next. She could predict what her sister, Mukuro, would do in this exact situation, where she would choose to focus her superhuman skill with weaponry. And so, through Monokuma's eyes, she watched the scene unfold exactly as she had predicted. A pointed metal bar burst through the explosions, heading straight for the weak point of the Monokuma holding the escape button. Specifically, it was aiming for the point where the bomb's detonation system and Monokuma's power source overlapped. It flew straight and true, as if it had been fired by a master archer. In order to bring despair to Monokuma, and by extension Junko as well, the super soldier known as Mukuro Ikusaba threw the pipe like a spear so it could attack the same weak point she had pierced in the nurse's office, as explosions filled the hallway until only fire remained visible. The spear's speed and precision as it soared to its target defied all human logic. But the mastermind knew. She knew Mukuro had used her power to fill the world with despair. Power was all that disappointing girl had, but that power was useless against Monokuma. The mastermind had predicted that Mukuro would put all her effort into that throw, and Monokuma caught the metal bar perfectly between his hands. Oh no. Oh no. The force of the throw knocked Monokuma back several yards, but the pointed end of the bar never pierced through his chest. Well, that was disappointing. The mastermind turned to look at a different monitor and wanted to see the look on Mukuro's face when she realized that she had failed to strike Monokuma. The despair of seeing the final Monokuma explode right before her eyes, completely obliterating the escape button. She wanted to see this memory of her disappointing sister's final moments as her newfound hope sank into a dark pit of despair. On instinct, she turned her attention to the surveillance camera that hadn't been destroyed, but instead of seeing Mukuro and the others, she only saw Sakura, who looked as though she had finished launching an attack. She only thought it was strange for 1 second, but then the hopelessly powerful mastermind completely understood the situation and shifted her point of view to Monokuma. But because of that single second, Junko would feel just a pang of despair. 3 seconds left. Amid the smoke, flames, and heat encircling the hallway, it burst through with the speed of a cannon shell. It glared at Monokuma with hot, boiling eyes that betrayed the icy expression on its face, and then, sharply, swiftly, strongly, it transformed into a living weapon that cuts through everything, revealing its true form in that hall of despair. 2 seconds left. Monokuma, who was still holding the metal bar in his hands, tried to move, but at that exact moment, the living weapon carved a path through the flames and appeared before him. Its body, which had never been wounded on any battlefield, was sustaining all manners of burns and injuries, but even so, it did not falter. The fire in its eyes never flickered once. 1 second left. The living weapon, Mukuro, slammed her knee into the back of the metal bar Monokuma was holding. I think Sakura threw her. I think Sakura fucking yeeted Mukuro through this shit. The sharp tip of the metal bar pierced through Monokuma like a rail spike, shredding the detonator and his power source into pieces. Time's up. The 100 explosions ceased, and smoke blanketed the hallway. Mukuro had dived into Monokuma, and the pristine escape button now rested in her hand. She and the other students of Hope's Peak Academy had passed the graduation exam. It was only a small amount of despair. Monokuma had tasted it in only 3 seconds. Oh, she totally did, yeah. She threw it like Mr. Incredible throwing Elastigirl, basically. Junko. Mukuro looked down at Monokuma. He could no longer move or self-destruct. When she spoke to him, a static-filled voice emitted from his mouth. It seemed his communication function still worked. Hoo 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 hoo. I never expected you to do that. He still sounded like Monokuma. It seems his voice modulator was unharmed as well. I must have overestimated you. I never thought you'd need anybody's help on the battlefield. When I give the signal, please launch me forward with a roundhouse kick. Yeah. Mukuro whispered these words to Sakura just before the explosion started. After Mukuro threw the metal bar, she jumped into the air at the exact moment Sakura unleashed a roundhouse kick. Right when Sakura's foot made contact with her own, Mukuro used the force generated by her kick to propel herself at Monokuma. Using the ultimate martial artist's superhuman attack like a springboard, she shot herself through the air like an artillery shell. Enduring intense heat, shrapnel, and blood-draining G-force, she stayed conscious as she charged through the hallway, engulfed with explosions and despair. Mukuro trusted Junko. She trusted Junko to predict that she'd throw the metal bar and catch it accordingly. Then, she'd try to look at her face as the despair sets in. The Junko Enoshima she knew would definitely do that. Although Mukuro hadn't predicted that her sister would try to kill her with the spears of Gungnir, she had a better understanding of her actions now. As Mukuro stared Monokuma in the face, all he could do was laugh scornfully. You put your life in someone else's hand for a deadly battle? I don't know how I feel about that. You'll always be a half-assed disappointment. I guess this time I'll just say I lost, because I didn't see this much disappointment coming. The end. The end. Mukuro shook her head at Monokuma. No, you're wrong, Junko. Huh? If you want to talk about winning or losing, I think we lost, before we even started. Mukuro's eyes shifted from side to side, as if she was unsure of something, and she fidgeted in place as she continued to talk. Not the Chuck Norris, yeah. She did, she nailed it, yeah. No matter how much despair they felt, you didn't think they'd kill each other the way they were before, but that's why you erased their memories. They aren't like the others you forced in the past. You knew these students would never do it. That's what you believed, isn't it? What are you talking about? So, I love that she has not a stutter, but she says a lot. I really like that. It's okay, Junko. I'll bring back everyone's memories someday, and I'll show you everyone's happiness and their bonds. I'll show all that to you, and fill you with even more despair. Mukuro nodded after she said this, as if to cheer her sister up. After several seconds of silence, Monokuma responded. You finally beat me this one time, and that lame speech is the best you can do. You're such a disappointment. You never fill me with despair. It's just constant disappointment. After pouting like a sore loser, Monokuma continued to speak in his usual tone. But you guys will be back. And when that time comes, I'll invite you guys to a wonderful place. I found out about this fun island while I was running things here. So fun. Boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Monokuma's laughter filled the room before the static finally cut out, and his remains fell silent. He wouldn't be talking again anytime soon. The mastermind was already preparing a new despair to bring to the world, and to the students of Host Peak Academy, Junko included. Jabberwock Island, I think so. In the end, the mastermind stayed in her Monokuma persona until the very end. Well, Junko's not dead, just the Monokumas are dead. And Junko Enoshima never showed her face again. It was as if she resented the despair Mukuro had given her. That thought almost filled Mukuro with despair, but when she heard her classmates calling for her, sorry, yawned. She sealed that despair into the depths of her heart. From now on, she would seal away all her despair. And one day, when she can give Junko the perfect despair, she'll unleash all the despair she stored and plunge her with her sister into the dark abyss. I won't leave my little sister alone. In the end, that was the first hope the disappointing older sister had felt since she was a child. Aww. There they are. There they are, the babies. See, when I got this picture, I didn't see Sayaka. She's up in the right corner. She's so tiny. Okay, almost done. I have another hair in my mouth. Okay. Mukuro, are you really going to go out wearing that wig? After receiving a blood transfusion of the correct blood type, Makoto was beginning to show signs of recovery. Yay! Mukuro, holding her wig to disguise herself as Junko Enoshima, nodded. If I live as Junko, I might be able to understand her better. Despite that, Mukuro's voice still sounded like her own, as if she hadn't fully decided. And I've made up my mind. While I'm out there, I've decided I'll accept everyone's hatred towards me, and towards Junko. I can't die until I've destroyed all the despair that Junko has spread. The damage that ultimate despair inflicted upon the world could not be measured in terms of money, culture, or even human life. Television broadcasts had already begun informing people that Junko Enoshima and Mukuro Ikusaba were the heart of ultimate despair. Among the survivors in the outside world, there were still people who hadn't been tainted by despair yet, regardless of the fact that she released Makoto and the others. To these survivors, she was nothing more than the reason the world ended. And to the terrorists wearing Monokuma masks who continued to ravage the world, Mukuro was nothing but a traitor. She was now in the hopeless situation of being enemies with most of humanity, but Mukuro wasn't making a big deal out of it. Hi Julian, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Oh goody, now they can all go outside and die. In the wonderful world that Junko created. Yeah, Junko Land. 10 out of 10. Junko Land is the only land I accept from now on. But Mukuro wasn't making a big deal out of it. I'm going to try not to kill anyone who comes after me for revenge. You have a question? Can you turn follower only chat off real fast? Yeah. You mean on? Oh, remove. Okay. There you go. Oh my goodness. Hi, Matt. That was so sneaky, Lawful. That was so sneaky. Welcome in, my friends. Welcome in. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, Julian. Okay, I thought your username looked familiar. Hi, Julia. Hi, Lawful. Hi, Skywalker. Hi, Tay. Hi, Nader. How are you guys? Welcome in. How is the stream? How is the stream? What were you playing? Yeah, you were playing Breath of the Wild. I saw that and I was like, oh, I think that's the first time he's playing that on stream. It's awesome. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid, my friends. I'm going to show you my raid video real quick and then I'll be right back. Let's go. Tokyo Drift. Gundam's undergarments. Holy shit, we went to second base real quick. We just held hands and you gave me this underwear. I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm not gonna fuck it up. I fucked it up. Why are you up here? Bro. I'm rage quitting Animal Crossing. I'm not playing this game anymore. I don't know if I should keep crying or laughing. No! No! I love you. I love you. Oh, we're having a manly bath together. Hell yeah. You bathe in this? How have you not perished? I'm having a crisis. I'm having a Gundam crisis. Are you super done with my bullshit? Is that what that was for? There you have it. There you have it. Thank you so much for the raid. It's so nice to see everybody. I hope you had a lovely stream. Lawful, you did great, bud. Yeah, good job. Good job. Hi, Julia. Glad I could catch your stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I usually don't stream on Tuesdays. We're doing a little extra story time. Silvered says, goodness gracious, it's a Matt raid. Hi, Silvered. I feel those Orstein and Smog vibes real hard. Yep. Yep. And then in my second playthrough, I had to beat Smog first and deal with second phase Ornstein, and that was just an absolute nightmare as well. The last Guardian was rough to play. Oh, Julie, I know. I sob every single time. But I've probably beaten it like 4 or 5 times now. I just love Trico so much. He's my little baby. Still haven't finished it. I love it. Oh my god, Lawful. 4%. That's tragic. That's just tragic. It's me at the Mimi. I'm so sorry. No, I do not accept that. I do not accept that. Better. There it is, Mimi. There it is. I like that. 1%. I fucking can't. I can't. An emote. Potato leaf. I can't. I gave all my fucking spice last week. That's true. You did. 2 jumps in milk today. Oh, you meant the controls? It frustrated me? Yeah, a lot of people say that. I think you just have to be patient with Trico. They kind of made it that way on purpose. Like, it's an animal. It's not always going to listen to you. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. You're 90. So nice. 74. Nice, Matt. Lawful 95. There you go. Memes is just sugar and everything nice today. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Saved. No, it only counts if I do it, Lawful. 2% is a very magical number. I like it. And thank you for the follows, Darknator. Thank you. We all get real spicy with the advantage. Yeah. The notes emote's so cute. I know. His emotes are so cute. But welcome in, Raiders. If you have to go eat, drink, sleep, whatever, Matt and friends, please go ahead and take care of yourself first. We're probably, I think we're like right at the end. We're literally just having like a super chill, like I'm literally reading a novel. Of like a what if situation from a game that we've played, Danganronpa 1. But yeah, we're just chilling. We're just chilling story time. Won't be long, gonna crash. Of course not. But so happy able to raid you. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. And I don't know if Lawful suggested or whatever, but I really appreciate it. Lawful and Matt, thank you. Hopefully I'll catch another one of your streams soon, Matt. It's always a good time there. Have a good rest of your night. No, gotta scoot. Okay. See you in a minute. Okay. Switch that back. Just in case. I didn't even know I could do that. Turn it off. Follower only mode. Music got me like, yeah, right. It was all my idea, and then I saw him over here, and I was like, Lawful, you have to wait for the raid. He's the perfect secret agent. Nice. Yeah, Lawful's been lurky turkey all stream. Lurky turkey all stream. Thank you for the hydrate, Mimi. Let's keep that off and see how that goes. Yeah, thirsted. Let's go. Do y'all want to see that cat? Y'all want to see a video of that cat? You barely missed first. Yeah, you did. You did. No, it wasn't Mimi. It wasn't Mimi. No, no. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Where did I hide those? In videos? Yeah. Okay. I love sharing this when the opportunity arrives. So let's watch it real quick. This is Mimi. Okay.
What do you want? You're making me crazy! That's not gonna work, honey. You'll stink! You'll Oh my god! You'll smell terrible! Oh my god! What's going on here? Huh? Oh, such a good hiding spot. Where are you going, huh?
I fucking love Thurston.
Yeah, in your freaking bag.
You goddamn cutie.
Thurston.
Get him.
Oh, what? What? You think you're gonna go out trick-or-treating like that? What do you want?
You're making me crazy! I love Thurston. I love Thurston so much. You don't even know. You don't even know. Okay, baby, let me do your hydrate. Real quick. One last sip of ginger. Okay, and let's finish this. I'm pretty sure this is right at the end. The slow-mo, I know. You're making me crazy. Fucking love him. Oh, I turned Spotify off. 1 second. There we go. Oh, okay, wouldn't it be safer to just turn yourself in? Wondered Hero. Well, you might just get executed instead. I thought we were moving on from the execution. But you could live to be an old lady if your trial keeps getting pushed back. That's so bad because it's true. Mukuro slowly shook her head at Hiro. Laws, justice, these things no longer exist. Is it really that bad out there? Maybe we should just stay in here. Byakuya glared at Hiro with contempt. Ignorant idiots! Should just shut up. Your fate won't change whether you stay in here or not. Alright, great. Great talk, Byakuya. Thank you. Though he was shocked to learn the Togami Corporation had been destroyed, Byakuya continued to remain firm and proud, even toward Mukuro. You are a rare asset, continued Byakuya. So I will let you live for now. He'll let us live for now. Great. Depending on your actions, I may consider forgiving your crimes after I've built a new world. Please, I'd rather live in Junko Land than Byakuya Land. Only a Togame would boast the rare assets, he says. Oh yeah, look at that booty. Only a Togame would boast that they're capable of forgiving the crime of ending the world. You don't need to do that. I don't plan on just surviving. After turning away from Byakuya, Mukuro looked at the other students. Everyone was reacting in their own way. Kyoko had a lot of quiet preparation. Toko, having just changed back from Genocide Jack, was panicked and confused. Mukuro looked back on the 2 years she spent with them, then turned to Makoto, who shared the same memories as her, and gave him the escape button. Makoto, you press it. Huh? Me? I think it's better if you press it instead of me. As she watched Makoto accept the button with some hesitation, Mukuro thought about what Monokuma had said. You guys will be back. Mukuro knew that Monokuma was telling the truth. After all, the file the students needed to fully restore their lost memories remained hidden in the academy. The research notes of Yasuki Matsuda, the ultimate neurologist, his research is the key to restoring everyone's memories. Even if the students no longer have their memories, they may be able to repair the bonds that they had built among themselves over the past 2 years. Toko's reaction stayed the same, basically. But as long as their memories remain unrestored, the mastermind could still repeat her deadly plan. Although the island mentioned earlier sounded strange, very strange, the students could not turn their backs on the despair facing them. Then let's go. Makoto remembered everything that was happening in the outside world. The boy who had chosen to remain inside the academy 2 years ago was now choosing to leave. How much did he struggle to come to that decision? But he was determined to face the despair awaiting him outside and hid his internal conflict from the others. By protecting Makoto's hope, Mukuro would bring despair to her beloved sister. This is so backwards and upside down. It's crazy. But she no longer knew if the end result of her goal would lead to hope or despair. She pulled the wig over her head and hid her face with her hands. Was she smiling? Because, oh, I want to see Mukuro smiling. Oh, was she smiling because hope was waiting for her? Or was she— and she's crying! She's smiling and she's crying? Come on. You're killing me. Because her path would lead to despair. When she lowered her hands, her face was devoid of all emotion. Mukuro no longer knew what expression she should wear on her face. At the same time, Makoto pressed the escape button. A siren began to wail as the turrets retracted into the ceiling. From beyond the heavy door, a bright light appeared. An infinite number of ifs, and all the possibilities contained therein, encased the world, accepting everything, hope, despair, and even the feelings of that disappointing girl, Mukuro Ikusawa. Oh shit. Oh, I'm blind. All of them got out. They all got out. You were not expecting this. See, that's why I was like, we have to read this. We have to finish it. Isn't that cute? So yeah, it was just like a whole other, like, basically if the game never even happened. And I'm kind of wondering, like, would more of them be in future Foundation, maybe? If they all got out of there? Because they don't have their regular lives to go back to anymore, right? Interesting. Assume so? Yeah, I guess. It was cool. That was a nice little story. I loved learning more about Mukuro. Makoto became the ultimate hope because of that game. That's what it seems. Yeah, I'm not sure. It depends on what point the tragic event stopped. Yeah. I thought the island was just a simulation. It was, but the real island does exist. The one that was in the game, though, was a simulation of the real island. Yeah, especially if Mukuro was on their side. Yeah, exactly, right? Because didn't they, at the end of the second game, didn't they bring them all to the actual island? All the remnants of despair? Our babies? Thanks, I hate it. Because they joined FF to combat the effects of complete despair. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. And Danga 2, the actual station was on Jabalaba Island, I think. Yeah. And the simulation was recreated. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was more like set up. Didn't Junko say that she changed some things though? Like the fact that there was like 6 different islands or whatever and all that stuff. So it like made less sense, like with Monokuma Rock and stuff like that. Oh, my back. He's hurting. Figured. From what I can tell, it's possible that none of them would have joined Future Foundation and banded together, led by Mukuro and Senpai. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Minor details, yeah. I'm probably still gonna, like, once we finish everything, I'm probably still gonna be, like, watching, like, Danganronpa Explained videos to, like, learn even more. Like, what little things did I miss? All that stuff. Was I all dead? Because there was no life support outside? They all died? Was that an autocorrect? Yeah, died. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's possible, yeah. Hmm. I don't know. The detail they put into this entire franchise is the best. Yeah, I love it. I didn't even know it was this deep, like, getting into it either. Maybe they could have created their own since some of them died. Yeah, like their own kind of Future Foundation thing. That's possible too. I wonder when Future Foundation was founded. Did they talk about that in the anime? I don't remember. Cause was it like put together like after the tragedy? Must have been, right? I feel like they talked about it, but I just don't remember. I don't remember. While they were locked in the toilet. Yeah, I think that's how it happened. Cause they knew that, like, because it was being like broadcast, right? So they knew that that shit was coming. What did they do for the whole 2 years? What do you mean? Future Foundation? During or shortly after the tragedy? Yeah. The alumni, that's it, yeah. Did they just keep getting brainwashed until someone decided to start killing? No, the 2 years they just were at the school normally. They were just taking classes and just living a normal life. And then the tragedy struck. I think. I think them saying that, like, they were gonna get re-brainwashed was just in this, like, other scenario kind of idea. No, it was before the tragedy, I'm pretty sure. They just didn't remember that the tragedy happened. I think Kamar was locked up for, what, a year and a half? It does overlap a little bit, yeah. Yeah, because Juko or whatever could have taken Komaru even before the tragedy happened. That's a possibility. Yeah, they sealed themselves inside the school because of the tragedy. Yeah, they did. So they didn't talk to Kiri's dad until after the tragedy had happened, and that's why he was like, you know, like, based on the events that are going on right now, we want to like keep you safe. Do you agree to stay in the school? And that's why they were like, yeah, because they knew that everything else was going to shit outside. And then I think that's when Junko came in and killed Kiri's father and started setting up this game. GG. At the end of the day, we're dead, so it's fine. Yeah, 1.5 years? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Huh. Dang. Dang, dude. I can't believe it. I can't believe you've done this. I feel like if Mukuro had lived longer, something like this might have happened. But I wonder if Junko was already like catching on that Mukuro would like defy her at some point. I don't know. So she was like, alright, you gotta go. You gotta go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Because she did say it was like as an example or whatever. Yeah, so early, yeah. And even in between the first killing and the first trial. Like, seemed like such a odd time. Who do you think Mukuro as herself would have been closest friends with out of all of them, not including Makoto? Probably Sakura. Oh, way back. Ow, ow, ow. Probably Sakura, just because they have so much in common. Yeah, that's what you thought too. Yeah. Whew. Dear me. It's already 10:45? Oh my god. Sakura and Kiri? Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, like, Mukuro and Kiri had some kind of connection before because Mukuro was so willing to, like, tell her everything. Because Kiri's so, like, calm and level-headed. So I think Mukuro probably found solace in Kiri's, like, quiet company. So yeah, I could see Kiri too. Yeah. And I wonder how faithful this is to the characters. Like, it seemed like everybody else was very, like, themselves. as in the other games, or I guess the main game. Psychologically, they're on similar levels, yeah, for different reasons, yeah. But they both have heightened control over their emotions. Yeah, exactly. Huh. This was cool. I'm glad I read it. I knew, and the only reason I wanted to like actually stream like on Twitch was so I could save the VOD. And keep it. Because I know if I go back like a year from now and I only have the VOD of me reading the first half, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? I'd be so annoyed at myself. I'd be so annoyed at myself. Yeah, because I can't save it in Discord. I probably could figure out like a recording program or something, but whatever. Just put it on YouTube. That's what you figured, yeah. I already liked V3 a lot watching the VOD, even though I'm just a bit ahead. Yeah, just past case 1, yeah, I remember you saying that. So I think a huge part of why I love Danga so much is the fact that I've experienced with you and through you. Yeah, I agree, Mimi. I agree. It's not the same playing by yourself. I think if I was like playing through danganronpa for YouTube, it would be like so different. Such a different experience. I mean, there's so many emotions and so many things going on that it's like kind of hard to process if you're by yourself. Well worth it, yeah. When I saw that picture, I was like, oh, because I kind of just like kept clicking through all the dialogue until I got to the end. I played Danga 2 on my own, but it makes a difference watching those 53 videos, right? Oh man, I know I want to rewatch that at some point, but I don't have any time. I was having the same reactions as you both, even though I was watching it a lot later. Yeah. Totally. I know, that's part of like the fun of it. Sharing it. Yeah, I'm excited to continue D3. D3? Dangan 3. I think that's what my brain was doing. D3. I have to revise my list before Friday. Brooklyn was like, this shit don't make no sense. And I was like, dang, okay. The Insomnium Files? Yeah, I'll definitely play those on stream. Probably after summer camp. You should get on that, yeah. It's graphic with the cases. Holy F, dude, blows your mind. Oh my god. I'm excited. You should get on that, I know. Not like we were really thorough going through each character. Not at all, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I need to keep in mind, like, who's killing who and whatever. At least make the numbers make a bit more sense. But I'm excited for tomorrow to play Sekiro. Des mentioned that there was an optional boss. And I was like, oh, what one? And he was like, well, it's like back in this area. I'm like, oh wait, I know. It's a big dude on fire, isn't it? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I've definitely seen someone fighting that thing. But he's like, oh, well, it's completely optional, so no big deal. Maki could literally step on me multiple times. Same to me. I don't know who you're talking about, but same. There absolutely is an optional boss, and yikes. Second playthrough worthy? Whoa. Is it that bad? I know Des checked, but Bob, do you remember when if you like beat the final boss of that game, does it like, is it like Bloodborne where it like automatically sends you on a new playthrough? Or can you like go back and like run around and do shit? Oh, the caregiver, yeah, the brunette pigtails, red eyes, yeah, no, same. She's my favorite one so far. I wouldn't have wanted to play it originally on stream. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, you're kind of locked in. Okay. And is the area where we stopped 2 weeks ago, is that like the final area? Like there's no going back after going through that little secret passage? Yeah, okay. So maybe not the finale tomorrow, but running around and doing other shit? We can't go back after the dragon? What do you mean? I can still run around. Can't I? Oh, only in certain areas? Okay. Because I wanna, like, tomorrow I'd like to, like, try to power through, like, all the headless and that other weird magic dude and then maybe that other optional boss. Are those options? Or should I just not bother and just finish the game and wait for New Game Plus? I have to do it again. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll probably just finish the game tomorrow. Hopefully. Let's go from there. I'll kind of do like with what I did with Dark Souls, like maybe I'll have like a couple streams into New Game Plus just to like trophy hunt and stuff like that. And like chill. And then maybe the odd one here and there to do some bosses I didn't do on stream or anything like that. Like that fiery optional boss or whatever. Oh yeah, after my first playthrough I crack open the guides. I do. Make my whole little document. I love making my little documents. I'm excited. I still need to platinum Dark Souls. Miss Mary is the only person online right now. She's probably gonna end soon. But I'd like to bring a raid over if you'd come with me, friends. Almost necessary? Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to doing it with the guides and stuff. All good. We'll figure it out. Some of the ending requirements are ridiculous. That's kind of frustrating. That is kind of frustrating. But it's fine. So friends, there's the raid message if you aren't subbed, and the raid message if you are subbed. I appreciate you all coming to Cozy Night with me. And thank you for all the love. I really appreciate it. Mimi, thank you for the resub. You're literally an angel. You're an angel. And Ginge, thank you for the raid. And Matt, thank you for the raid. Julian for the follow. Darth Vader for the follow. Thank you, friends. Thank you, thank you. Are we close to 400? We're 5 away. We're 5 away from 400. Can you believe it? That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Thank you, friends. I will see you tomorrow. And if I don't see you tomorrow, have a great rest of your week. I'll keep you updated if there's any changes in the Discord. Yeah, I put the link up there. If you want to join there, no pressure. No pressure. But yeah. Love you, Mimi. Love you, Lawful. Good night, friends. Bye, Bob. Bye, friends. Bye, friends. I love you. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.